Is this thing on? It's live. I'm here. You're here. We're all here. And I'm wearing the correct shirt. Hold on. Let's not offend the Tandies. We'll turn that around for tonight. Hey everybody, my name's Joe Strohsnyder, and this is Joe's Computer Museum. Let's get all the silly little housekeeping stuffs out of the way. I would like to thank you all for stopping by tonight, especially my patrons, including, but not limited to, Justin Morgan, Stavros, Michael, Bob, Britt, Greg, Peter, and a whole bunch more people. Let's say hi to everybody in the chat. We've got, oh gosh, a whole bunch of yous. We've got Curtis Boyle. We've got Bob Darlington. Hi, Bob. Matt Mandark Jedi. We've got Thomas Armstrong. Reed Renfeld. Garth is here. Jeremy's Vintage. Hillbilly Shack. Frank Toby. Adam is here. John Mounts is here. Yes, you are all here. So thank you all for stopping by tonight. It's telling me there's 18 of you. Maybe there'll be more later. Maybe there'll be less. I don't know. We will do the thing. So, remember to, while you're here, if you're liking what I'm doing tonight, hit the like button. That tells YouTube that the video is awesome, and then it helps do things. If you're not subscribed to my channel and you're watching, subscribe to my channel so you can see when I do these cool shenaniganries that I do. And final little pieces of housekeeping. One, if you want to follow me when I'm not streaming, you can go up to this thing right up here to Twitter at Museum Joe. You can follow me on there. I post things on there from time to time. If you want to support my museum, there are two major ways that you can support my operation. Number one is you can go to my Patreon page, Joe's Computer Museum on the Patreons. You just search for that. You'll find it. And you, as little as $1 a month, you're helping me out. And you get cool things like stickers in the mail and mugs and T-shirts and behind the scenes stuff. You get access to the Discord where you can talk to me whenever you want. You just yell at me in the Discord and be like, hey, Joe, talk to me. And you can be a Discord member. You can also support me by getting trinkets like T-shirts and mugs and blue SCSI units at jcm-1.com. Again, that is, oh, where is it? Oh, I deleted it. I used to have a thingy. Ooh, where's the thing? Stand by. This, jcm-1.com. You can go there and get cool stuff. So here we are, and we're going to be having some fun tonight. What are we doing? So it's Septandy, right? It's Tandy in September. It's like Marcintosh, but for a completely different type of computer. So what that means is that we can play with our Tandy computers, our TRS-80 Model 1s, our Model 2s, our Model 3s, our Model 4s, the TRS-80 CoCos. Or like I did last Septandy, that guy right back there, my Tandy 1000. And that's what we're doing tonight. We are going to do an upgrade to my Color Computer 3. But Tom Barber is here. Hey, Tom. So what that means is I'm going to be putting in a processor upgrade. Now, I wish I had thought ahead and gotten the RAM upgrade as well, but I didn't think about that, so we're just going to do the CPU upgrade. And the CPU upgrade is where you're going to swap out the 6809 processor, the Motorola 6809 processor, for a Hitachi 6309. The 6309 is a 6809 with a whole bunch of extra cool features in it that you can go on the Googles and look and do the thing if you want. And that will tell you what all that does, and that's cool. But basically allows us to run a cool, relatively modern operating system on the Color Computer 3 called Nitros 9. In addition to Nitros 9, if I had the RAM upgrade, we could run Nitros 9 EOU or whatever it is, ease of use, that allows you to basically make the machine into a graphical powerhouse. It basically becomes like an Amiga. It becomes a really powerful machine. Ease of use, EOU. Thank you. Thank you, Curtis. So a lot of you out there know a lot more about the Tandies and stuff than I do. This is one of my first, more in-depth forays into the Tandies. As you can tell from my channel content, I'm more of an Apple II, Apple III, and Mac guy, but I like all the old bit computers. So we're going to play with one today. Starbuck Tech is here. Hi. Hello, you. Adam McGee. Can I hook up my TRS-80 cassette deck to my Apple II? Yes. If you got an Apple II that's got a cassette port, you can do that. I'm going to have a cup of coffee from my drinking mug. Coffee. So I'm going to press a button on this cool new setup that I did down here and see if it works. I'm going to do that. Ha ha! It works. I set up a program called Touch Portal, which allows me to have a smartphone down there that I can just press buttons. I just press the buttons down here and it changes the scene. So I don't have to click a doodle my mouse. I can just look on it, and I set it up with what are called events so that when I press the button, it changes the button to green. So I know which camera is live without having to look at the screen or anything. I can just go boop and do the thing. So tonight, this is what we're doing. I'm going to move this camera back just a little bit, and we're going to go through all the bits and pieces before we dig into the actual bench cam. So this is my CoCo3. We have seen it on the stream before. As a matter of fact, the last time we saw it on the stream was last September with the gentleman who invented this thing, which is the CoCo RGB device that effectively converts your CoCo3's TTL RGB output into an RGB output that's compatible with the Apple II GS. And of course, because I've got all the Apple II GS stuff sitting here for doing stuff with all my other RGB conversion stuff, I've got a setup that allows me to have awesome video up here that we can all see. Of course, here is the CoCo3 itself. This one was lovingly, how can I put it? It was lovingly restored via an insanely excellent paint job. This was not retrobrighted. It was painted. Somebody did a paint job on this. So it looks really nice. I've got my CoCo SDC here. And we've got the Chipadoodle. Let me short myself. 15 kilohertz analog RGB. Yes, thank you. Thank you, guys. I appreciate you correcting me. So this is the processor we're going to put into. It's the 6309. And it goes right in here in the socket where the 6809 goes. Now, just in case the 6309 is bad, I got two 6309s from two different sources. So hopefully one of these are going to work. Stars Mania has a question. Explain in a nutshell what extras the 6309 gives over the 6809. Mostly it's, I believe it's more addressing modes across the instructions. Some instructions are replaced with faster variants of the same instructions. In addition, it's got like a better memory, like a built-in paging management system or something like that. So it better supports more memory, something to that effect. So socket, aren't CoCo's direct solder to the main logic board? They are, but that's the fun thing because I got the tools and we're going to take the CPU out by force and put a socket in it, then put the CPU in it. So that's what we're going to do. So let's switch to bench cam. Haha, my buttons work. So we're going to show you the bench and not crotch cam, just the bench, please. Cool. So we're going to go ahead and take this guy apart here. I have it plugged in because I was messing around with it. So we can unplug all the plug-a-doodles and just kind of get things out of the way because I need to take the board out of the machine. I have never removed the board from this machine, so this is going to be a fun exercise. So we're going to very, very carefully get the keyboard out. Keyboard is out of the way, and then I'm going to look at screws, and it looks like there's 1, 2, 3, 4. That one is probably 1, 5. No, it's stuck to the board. There's like 4 screws. Yeah, it's just kind of loose in the back here. Okay, 4 screws it is. So I'm going to take these screws out. Where'd you get the T-shirt? Stars Manny has asked, and I think you asked that earlier as well, and I missed it. I got the T-shirt from literally RadioShack.com. There was a short period of time when they rebooted themselves that they were selling branded shirts of their old products. And when I saw that, I'm like, I'm buying it now. Give it to me. Give it to me now. Me want. So I got it. We're going to put our screws in this little dish back here so we don't lose them. Also need to turn that on to get the soldering irons and everything heated up. These the same screws? No, they are longer. Okay. Take out all the screws. Are you released now? Yes, sort of. Something on the bottom? Yes. So I have to get the RGB cable out of the back of this here. There we go. Pin 1 is labeled. No, pin 1 is not labeled, so I'm going to put a tiny little red dot on the pin 1 side so I don't forget. It goes right there. Cool. Now it comes right out. It comes right out. The power just disconnects right here. And there's the whole logic board out of the machine. Sweet. Now, of course, I already took it. I took the liberty of taking this apart last night. So I could get an understanding of what we were going to do, so we wouldn't waste a whole bunch of time on stream faffing about, but that's fine. So we need to get this kapoo out of here, right? Right. That's exactly what we need to do. And we use the Sarasaka! Yes. Mac Effects, $2.99. Woo! Thank you, Mac Effects. Mark Gizatis, how you doing, buddy? I have questions of yours I need to answer. I am aware of this. I saw them in the Facebook messages. I know they're there. Ah, what is this thing? This needs to go away. Let's get these clips off here. And then we can get this thing out of here. I'm going to remove all these silly safety clip-a-doodles because we don't need these things anymore. Oh my gosh, it might interfere with my television. That's now digital, that it won't interfere with at all. Now, let's squeeze all these together so we can get these little clips out. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Lots of squeezing. How is everybody doing tonight, this wonderful Friday? One of the first days of fall. In the northern hemisphere. If you are in the southern hemisphere, it's the first day of spring, I believe. Or something like that. Lift this silly thing out of here. All these little pins out of here. Do I have a little hook that I can grab these pins with? Yes, look at this. We're going to use the hook and grab the pins because they're dumb. Pin. Okay. Ingenious little pins, these. I like them. I like the way they work, I should say. I mean, these RF shields are kind of a moot point these days because of the frequencies that things work at, but whatever. Part 15 rules. FCC Part 15, blah, 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 blah. So those are all out. Ha-ha! Shield is out of the way. Now, let's put that little hook back. Now, the CPU is going to live right here, I believe. It is. It is right here. Yes, it is. So now we need to get the CPU out. Prepping for a hurricane. Just got in from mowing part of my yard. Might join you once you had a few minutes to recover. Yes, yes, my patrons. That's another thing. If you become a patron of Joe's Computer Museum for as little as $1 a month, you get access to, of course, the Discord. But here's what happens. I will post the StreamYard studio link very frequently, not always, but frequently. I'll post the studio link to my streams. And if you're really cool and you want to join my stream, there's a high chance that you could jump in there. I'll see you and I'll add you as a streamer. And you can hang out with me live on stream with everybody. It's super cool. So become a patron. apologize for not keeping up so much in chat. Yeah, again, all you folks in Florida, again, stay safe, please. I hear that the hurricane is coming up your way, and it is getting stronger, and it's going to be there in a couple days, and you don't want to be anywhere near that jazz. So if you've got the ability to weather the storm, please do so. If you have a safe place that you can get to your safe place, please. I want all of you to be happy and healthy people. That's what I want. So we're going to use the magic sucking machine, the Moo Moo machine, and we're going to take all of these out. Now, this is going to be challenging because these pins are flush. They're very flush cut, so I don't know how long I'm going to be able to suck them out. So we're going to find out here in a moment. So let's do it. It's doing okay. Not great, not terrible. Dooby-dooby-doo. Makes it hard to control the machine because usually you can like get the machine on a pin and it'll stay on there. But there's no the pins on this CPU are very short for some reason. So they're not. It doesn't help the machine actually stay on the joint. So I kind of got to hold it with two hands here. As a matter of fact, I'm going to try something different. This may work a little better. Switch to this camera. I'm going to see if we can do it with solder wick. Let's see if we can do it with Wick. John Wick. He killed a man with a pencil. Okay. That is not the thing I want in there. I want this one. This is my favorite one. T12, the BC2. The BC2 soldering tip is my favorite. So we got that switched. We're wait for it to heat up. It only takes about 10 seconds. There we go. Cool. So let's see if solder wick works better in this case. Not really. It's getting the surface solder, but it's not getting into the joint. I'll show you. Oh, well, it's out of focus. You can't really see anything. Let me get it into focus for you guys. He tried to kill me with a forklift. Let's get it in focus for you. That's focused for you. So now I can change my eyepieces so it's focused for me. There we go. They're the same focus now. How many subs do you need to hit 5K? However many subs from now gets me to 5K. I don't know the number. I'm at 4910. I'm at 4,910 subscribers. So I need exactly 90 subscribers to hit 5K. Okay. Yep. So here, I'm going to zoom way in. I'll show you here. So that's a joint that was done right there. That's a joint that was done with the solder sucker. And as you can see, it kind of got all the way around the joint, right? But if we move up here, see those, like that one's a really good example. It got all the way around the joint, so that'll come out really easy. But then when I look at these two, these are the ones that I did with the solder wick. So I'd have to like try to wick it from the top again as well, and it's extra work. So we're just going to use the machine. So to use the machine for these two, we have to go ahead and re-add solder to these two joints I did, or it won't work correctly. I have to like do it properly, like this. As a matter of fact, I may reflow all of these. It tends to help the machine work better. Have nice, clear, clean solder in there. That's also got some flux mixed in with it from my flux core, rosin core solder. I don't know if you can see that. Now, this machine is of a much higher build quality than, say, a Model 1. It's very obvious from the layout. It is much better designed. I still don't think it's as of high quality design as an Apple Logic board. But then again, you know, with an Apple Logic board, you need to pay twice as much for it. So, details. So I'm gonna do this one. Okay. Now we're going to suck out all the things. Heat it up and pry out the chip. He tried to kill me with a forklift. Welcome to Joe in hyperfocus mode. Yeah, I can make that work. Burping, excuse me. Hot air time. Almost done. Now I'm going to check these under the microscope to make sure that they are good enough. If any aren't good enough, we can do some manual work on them. So sometimes you get these little solder tags. Here, I'll see if I can point one out. You'll get little solder tags like here. Here we go. There you are. So you'll get a little tag. Focus, like that. And the joint is clear, but it's still got a little bit of a little spur on it. So all you can do with that, all you need to do with that is just come in with the wick and you can suck those little spurs up. Like that. See? You can just go along and do that to all those joints. I don't need to be that close in to do that. Rudy! Welcome to... We're gonna walk down to Solder Sucker Avenue, and then we'll take it higher. Do-do-do. Get all these little tags off here. This one's still not that great. Don't like that one. Little flux would probably help it suck into the wick a little better. Now, Goot wick does have a pine rosin core to it, or flux built into it, but that burns off pretty quickly. So sometimes you can just add a little extra flux to your, like that, and it helps it work again. Like that. Now you're all are telling me, hot air, hot air. I hear you. I hear you barking, big dogs. But these old boards, when you hit them with hot air for a long period of time, as would be needed for a really large chip like this, have a tendency to pop and delaminate. You can actually hurt traces more that way, I have found. So I try to avoid doing that. I had a great deal of difficulty with such things when I was working on my Franklin Ace 2000, when I was doing a reverse engineering project for the Franklin Ace. After I did a hot air reheat or hot air chip removal like that. So I've kind of shied away from those. Maybe I just did it wrong. I don't know. I'm not perfect, but you know, whatever. I'm doing it my way. And if you don't like it, then you have a differing opinion from me, and that's fine. My way works, your way works, always work. Hot, hot. Hurt my fingies. Cool. So now we can do this, and we're going to do the push technique. So you take your chip lifter, and you can push against the chip a little bit. And you can actually break any little solder connections it may still have in the holes there. The chip lifter also has kind of like a little dual prong in it like that. And you can actually, those are actually one set of pins apart. So you can press directly on the pins. Somebody was asking, like, what will the upgrade work in? It'll work in any CoCo. CoCo 1, 2, or 3. They all use the 6809 processor, so the 6309 will work on that. As a matter of fact, the 6309 will work in literally anything a 6809 will, because in native mode, they are the same processor. It operates identically. All your software will work and everything. So what I'm doing with this process is I'm just pushing on the pins kind of lightly. And what that does is if there are any little solder tags left, it can break the connection between the pins and the solder without putting too much stress on things. And the idea here is I'm trying to do my best to get this chip as loose as I possibly can so that it'll just come out and it won't pull vias or traces out. That's the focus. So now I'm going to just use my big fingies and ratchet this back and forth like that to help break those connections. And you can see it starts to move more. It's because we're breaking more and more of those little solder joints. And now we'll see if it comes up. Okay. And it came up without lifting a single via. Trying to get a good pry on it from this side. Almost got it. This one pin on this one corner is being belligerent. Because of course it is. Because there's always one. There we go. There she is. And the CPU is out. And now we examine all of these vias to make sure that they look good. So let me get it in focus for you here. Focus. There we go. And we'll just do a quick scan. Those all look fantastic. Now let's clean them up. A little bit of flux, not too much. Don't need too much for this process. And then we just go with the wick and we clean up all the pads. Block memory views, register. Yeah. Exactly, Curtis. Exactly. It basically it makes the 6809 a much faster processor, effectively. Because you can do a lot of optimized things with the 6309 that you can't do with the 6809. It doesn't mean the 6809 is like a bad processor or anything like that. It just becomes a lot more capable. You know, when you can do a block memory move, basically when you put the CPU in a mode that says, hey, move 256 bytes from here to here, and the CPU can go into like this special, like, I don't know, state machine mode and just cranks through it. Like basically at a byte per cycle and just goes wham and can do it. Yeah, much faster than doing it like any sort of like indexed loop or anything like that. Apologies if I'm not watching chat. I'm just kind of focused on what I'm doing. Hot. Hot. Copper. Heat. Hot. All pretty. Cool. Yes, that's another good point too. About the 6309. All of these cool features weren't documented. Like they're literally not in the data sheet. Yes. Would I be willing to test all the 6309s that I received to see if they work? Yeah, sure. Why not? Focus. There you go. We'll just do a quick run. The back side, we're going to just be adding solder to anyway, so it's not too terribly important that these look that pretty. They just have got to be good enough to get the socket through. Cool. So let's clean up this side of the board real quick because that's going to be under a socket, and we don't want to leave that yucky looking. Okay. Old-fashioned. I'm going to use isopropyl alcohol and a paper towel. That's all I need. In theory, I should probably recap this board. It's got quite a few electrolytics on it. They all look fine to me. This machine is in pristine shape. There we go. All clean. All pretty. So now we get to put a socket in it. Socket! I want a standard 40-pin dual light socket. Do I have any? I hope I've got one. I didn't stop to think if I see if I had one before I did it, but I do. Yay! 40-pin socket. Cool. Curtis is the Nitros 9 master. Curtis, you awesome, awesome person. I would love to hear from you during the stream, or potentially even sometime after the stream, about all the wonderful ways I can get Nitros running on this. I want Nitros EOU running on it, so I need a RAM upgrade, and I need some sort of pointer capability. I did some basic research, and I wasn't able to determine if it works with a joystick as well as a mouse, so I don't know. If it works with a joystick, I can settle for that in the short term, because I know joysticks for these machines are like basically impossible to find. The socket doesn't want to go in there, so there's a spur or something still in one of these via holes that I'm trying to find. It was along this side, but I'm not seeing it. Try it again. There we go. I found it. It was that one right next to the mark that says 30. Can you see it? Yeah. You see it's kind of sticking up out of there. So I know which one it is. So here's how you fix that. You add solder, and then you suck the solder back out. Cool. Clean it again. Try it again. Yep, went right in that time. Sweet. Now we can solder it in place. So when I'm soldering sockets like this, I gotta find it. What I'll do is I will take the corner pin and I'll bend it over like that. And that holds the socket in place. Like so. See? And then you solder the pins next to those two pins. Like this. Retro Techie, can you have it? No. Like that. And then on the far end, you can see it. You do these. And then you can bend these pins back up. What that does is it allows you to get the socket back out later if you need to remove the socket. Or it just makes it easier to do. And now we solder all the pins. Doobie doobie doo. Oops. Cool. So let's see if I can drag solder tonight. Let's see how good I am at that. Oh, I'm doing pretty well. Doing pretty well. The trick is to aim with the solder is to aim at the pin below the one you're melting. Basically to keep the solder in front of your iron. Because what happens, like if you're trying to solder, here, and you, like that, and you try to drag, your solder just gets stuck. It doesn't go where you need to go. But if you pull, it's a weird kind of combination. You're pushing the solder, not dragging it. You drag the iron pin to pin, but you push the solder from the pin below it. And that all keeps you right where you need to go. And when you move your solder down to the next pin, or the iron next to the next pin, you move the solder down to the next pin at the same time. So like that, and you just kind of keep it between the two pins, basically below the pin you're actually soldering. And it just goes boop, 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 flows right down all the line. And it's a little bit faster than doing it joint by joint, just a little bit. Saves you a little time. Now I do a lot of soldering. I build a lot of kits and things. This is backwards. Stand by. There we go. I solder a lot of kits and things, and having techniques that make that go faster is always better for me. So for this side, to clean this side up, we're going to use the toothbrush because we've got pins and stuff, and we don't want to get stuck on the pins and things. Pins and things. Tasty. So we're going to clean up all the goop that may be on this side of the board. There we go. Switch to that camera, and then we take our towel and just kind of rub it around there. See, this is why you don't usually want to clean with a paper towel, because it just shreds it and leaves junk all over the board. But no big deal. So there we go. So now we have the socket. The socket is in place. So we can, in theory, put our original CPU back in there to make sure the machine works. So I'm going to clean up the pins on this CPU using this kind of set of flat pliers. It's completely flat. It has no serrated teeth inside of it, and I find it very, very good for straightening up pins. You can just go along and crimp two pins at a time, right along the whole line, and it straightens them all out really nice. It's good when it's better than using a pin straightener tool, which is really more designed for getting the pin straight right after you've gotten a new chip out of the package. It doesn't do a good job when the pins are mangled. It only changes the alignment of the whole row. Whereas these pliers do a much better job of getting them all exactly aligned. Just go right along here and get them all lined up. Of course, they got all messed up when we were futzing around with the chip, getting the chip out of the via holes. There we go. So I'm going to just eyeball it. That looks much better. So now this should go in that socket. Right in the socket. So now this should turn on and run. So let's get it put back together and see if it works with the original CPU with my socket. It's called variable elimination. You eliminate any variables before you add more. If it doesn't work with the original, then that indicates I did something wrong, right? Right. I want to kind of lift this up off the surface a little bit, if I can. I guess I could just put it back in the chassis, because I'm going to need the power to do that anyway. There we go. And kind of just lives in that general vicinity, close enough for testing purposes. So the chip is in there, that's in there. Plug in the power. We plug in the video, which for testing, I will just use composite. When we do the full test, I'll plug the RGB back in and all of that. Go back to AV. You can't really see all this yet. Go to there. Plug this in. And we will turn it on and see what happens. Ta-da! Whee! There you are. Can you like go up there? Can you go up, up? There we go. So sweet. So that CPU works. So now let's swap out the CPU, shall we? Let's do that. So that's an easy thing to do. Now that it's socketed, you just pop the old one out of the socket and put the new one in. Start with a blade here. Need to get under the chip. You're being stupid. Don't be a stupid chip. Be a good chip. Be a good cat. Okay. Old chip out. This chip. Now this is where you use the chip straightener, like this. This gets those pins that are splayed out. It gets them lined up correctly. There we go. Now they're square. So they go into the socket. Beta socket. That goes this direction. All right. That is one installed 6309 processor. Yep. All right. Let's see if this works. 3, 2, 1. Ta-da! Sweet.
Congratulations, Joe. It works.
Yay! Hi, Justin. How you doing, man?
Hi, Joe. I'm doing good.
Good.
Yes, I got like 20 minutes of mowing in before it got too dark to see the yard.
Yeah, that's right. You're a little bit farther east than me, so it's a little bit darker there.
Yes.
Just a little bit.
Yes, my robotic...
Speaking, I should probably be in a different time zone, but the United States and time zones. Weird!
Yeah. Yeah, my robotic lawnmower had to go in for service, so...
Oh, so you had... Yeah.
So in order to make sure my yard is mowable by the time it comes back, because if the grass grows too tall, its collision avoidance system sees grass as a solid obstacle.
I can't mow the grass because there's, quote, grass.
Yeah.
So this chip works. So I'm going to mark that with a green mark. So Jeremy wanted to see us test all the chips. So let's do that. So that chip works. Let's try the next one.
Yes. So while you're working on this, I'm actually working on things for one of my videos.
Ooh! Anything you want to sneak peek for folks? Any kind of hints you want to give, or you want to keep it a secret?
Oh, it's Septandy related. And
yay! Septandy.
If anyone has any suggestions for programs I should run on a TRS-80 Model 4P, put them in the chat, and I will take those under advisement.
Cool. Let's try this CPU.
So there's your sneak peek and my help with my research.
All right, so let's. I keep wanting to like use my mouse to switch when I now got a button to do it. That one works. Did I do that?
Yeah, I would have worn a different shirt, but well, it hasn't arrived yet.
Yes, I apologize for that, but blame UPS.
Yeah, I'm going to have to blame UPS because I have not moved. UPS recognized that the package was coming to me because they upgraded it to UPS ground.
Yeah, I think that might be, and on my end it said, basically it said this package is being returned to the warehouse because we couldn't deliver it. And I think what happened is when UPS upgraded it to ground for you in order to get it to you, or something, the fulfillment center detected that as a shipment failure.
Wait a minute, something else might have happened. If UPS didn't get I've had a few packages where UPS was supposed to upgrade it, but it never got upgraded. We're having trouble in our subdivision with the post office.
Okay.
So if that package never got to UPS and the post office messed up, i.e. they've been delivering packages to the wrong house, and that person decided to return it instead of being a nice neighbor and maybe putting it on the correct porch or posting on Facebook, hey, who lives here?
Yeah.
So, yeah, it might have actually gotten returned because the post office messed up. So, yay with our post office. But yay! Oh, a CoCo3. That is awesome.
We've got 3 working processors. So now I have one for my CoCo2 as well. And then I'll have one for my CoCo1 if I ever get it.
Rudy says I need to try OS2.
You know, YouTube keeps telling everybody you need to install OS2 with my video, but it keeps sending people to, and all it is like 45 minutes of accelerated installation where you can't see what I'm doing. I don't know why YouTube has decided that video is important. It's like my second most popular video after my Atari 2600 ASMR video. Anyway, it's also all the comments are like, this doesn't tell me how to install OS2. Downvote. Like, well, you still watched it.
I got my watch hours.
Yep. Put that
in. YouTube hasn't suggested that video to me yet, although I'm sure the suggestion's coming.
Oh, just wait.
Just wait, yes.
4 working process.
I did watch one of your other older videos recently because Reactive Micro had the video on their website, so I watched it.
Yes. I've done several instructional / informational videos for Reactive Micro products over the years.
Let's just say that Reactive Micro product might be in one of my future videos, although I haven't ordered it yet because I have enough other projects. But
Joe,
I'm tempted. Thomas's question.
Get Joe to check the transistor paste. Under here? Oh, you can't see that. This right here. Transistor paste? That
probably.
Thing?
Feel free to make me a little smaller so that people can see the CoCo3 a bit bigger. Because I'm upstairs, so I don't have like an overhead cam to show people what I'm doing. Because
you can go down anytime. There we go. It's big. I'm like way up on that. So everybody, you're asking me to check the goop under that transistor, right? Is that what you're asking?
I believe so.
Say yes or no in the comments. I can tell you right now it doesn't require goop. Because if you take a really close look at that, it's got a thermal pad on it. It doesn't have goop. There's no goop to check. It's got a thermal pad.
Oh, yeah. Oh, wait, there might be another question. Hold on.
The transistor never got the paste it needed. Well, we can put paste on it. I got all the things. I can do all the things. So we're going to put bench cam back up because it's in my way.
I think the question that we're being pointed to is Thomas Armstrong asked, does that have the TO3 package transistor?
The TO3. Yeah, that's this guy right here. Big guy. Yep. Mm-hmm. With the big heat sink and all that. Yep.
It was the TO3 that was bad.
Well, let's zoom way in. Let's just zoom. Just look at my video and tell me what it is. I don't know. We'll zoom way back in. I will say like super zoomed in on it, right? Like that. And you all just tell me what the heck it is while I go get heatsink goop.
Thomas says it's a TO220. I think TO3 is the big round one.
Oh, yeah. This doesn't have the big round one, no.
It doesn't have the big round one.
Thermal paste. I have to go around the back here to get it. Oh, what thermal paste shall I use? I think I'm going to use old-fashioned white thermal paste. I've had this thermal paste forever. And in a weird coming about, look at the brand on the thermal paste. It's Radio Shack thermal paste. So it's perfect.
Oh, that's awesome. So this Tandy is getting Tandy paste for Sep Tandy.
We're going to zoom all the way back up there and move the camera around again. And I'm sorry about vomit cam, but I don't have like, this is just literally a web camera. So I don't have like buttons to zoom in and out. I have to move the whole gantry up and down. In theory, I'm sure that there's like controls I can use to do that in the camera settings or some crap, but I ain't going to do that.
Dong! The captain has illuminated the fasten seatbelt sign due to turbulence on the webcam area.
Just give it a finger test for overheating. I mean, it's warm, but it's not hot. I mean, it is what it is. I guess I'll go ahead and put some goop on it. I mean, why not?
Yeah, you might as well.
I'm in here.
Curtis says you just need a battery of the month club card and then you're all set.
Yeah, there you go. Yep. Not quite sure how to get that out of there, so let's figure it out. Let's figure it out. Figure it out. Get the whole board out. Put the whole chassis box over there. And I need to flip this over. It's got a nut on the back. It's got a nut.
Yeah, Thomas.
Mention it again, old man.
Thomas says the TO3 would have burned your fingers.
Yeah, this is getting nowhere near that hot. Although it feels like it's loose in there. It's flopping around in the breeze. I need for this a flathead screwdriver, probably this one, because I need to pry between here like this, I think. Need to get it loose from the, well, it's okay. I'm not going to touch it. It's on there. The thermal pad has got it really glued down, so I'm just going to leave it. I'm not going to tempt fate and try to take it out of there because I don't have a replacement for it. If I break a leg off or something, grumpiness shall ensue.
Well,
we'll finish the live stream. So
yeah, we don't want Grumpy Joe.
No, you really do not want Grumpy Joe. Trust me. I am the nicest person on earth. I really am, unless I'm grumpy. And then bad things happen. But I don't get grumpy often, so that's good. I'm just putting away my tools. It's kind of one of my processes I do. I clean while I work, or I try to remember to anyway. Okay, so let's go ahead and put this all back together again. Without that stupid RF shield, because we don't need that crap in there. This goes in here, right about like that. Screws. Where are the screws? That's the case screws. They're over here. I do need these little things because it helps hold up the keyboard. And the long screws go over here. Ah! Get out of my way. Go over there. Good. Okay. Cool. Those are in, and then it has two along the bottom on the bottom corner, and then it just uses the case to hold it down on the top corner here, or the top edge. You unscrew them. If you don't know how to put screws into plastics, you do it in reverse until it pops into place like that. Then you do it forward. That will help you prevent from stripping out the threads. There you are. That's there. Okay. Keyboard goes in. Yep, like this. So does anybody in the chat have any suggestions for other cool upgrades I can put in this? I guess I need a 512K card for this, so I can run the graphical user interface. Anybody know what that's called and where I can get it? I also would love to have the Gimme X or Gymex, however y'all pronounce that, which is the updated awesome sauce graphicness. What's in my way? It's probably the power cable.
Eric says you need holographic displays for it. Curtis Boyle's suggesting the 512K or 2 megabyte RAM upgrade. Thomas Armstrong suggesting the HDMI adapter. John Mounts is saying Gimex. Maybe Gymex. That must be the high-res card.
Yes, that replaces the Gyme with like all the extra features and stuff.
And Curtis says Cloud9 has the RAM upgrades.
Cloud9, got it.
Cloud9.
You may just go and order one while we're on the live stream here. You know, I'm only like 23 days late to celebrate September, you know. Whatever. That screw doesn't go there. That screw goes in this one.
RGB LEDs. Okay, Curtis says Cloud9 does not advertise the 2 megabyte RAM upgrade called the Triad Plus, but they have it.
Cool. So how does one convince them to sell me one? That's the question.
Let's...
How does one convince them to give good old Joe, in exchange for money dollars, of course, one of those cool adaptadoodles? I need to put my RGB in here. And this is right here. This right here, folks, is why I don't need anything that gives me extra, how can I put it, extra video output, because I already have this wonderful adapter doodle right here, which was on literally my last September live stream. wonder if this box could be modified so that the board in here could fit inside this little spot. Anyway, thinking out loud. That way it's not hanging out here with the cable, right? It just kind of goes on underneath there. So anyway, this is the CoCo RGB, which effectively takes the TTL RGB and makes it a Apple II GS, or really a 15 kilohertz RGB. You could in theory with the right adapter connect an Atari ST monitor to that, or an Amiga monitor to that, and it would work just fine. So I'm going to show you why I prefer this video format, because with my GONBEZ adapter here, we're going to go to this. With my GONBEZ video converter that with the GBS control installed, the video on this thing is outstanding. And sorry, and I'll show you. Plug it back in.
So to order from Cloud9, you email them. I put a link to their website in the chat.
Look at how much better that video looks than composite.
Or Thomas Armstrong says to check with Dr. Ian.
Look at that. So I don't need extra video solutions. My video solution is awesome.
Yeah, that looks nice.
So I don't have to spend extra money on it. I got one that works. Yes. So first thing for just that, Brenda make fits there, but I should suggest something you have. Didn't know you were cuckoo for CoCo. Hey, you know what? I am. RGB, email them or check with Dr. Ian. Make the power supply external. It is this board, the power supply is already external. It's hanging off the side. Look at that RGB board in place where the PSU wants. Oh, the power supply for the machine. Yes. How readable is 80 columns on your setup? I don't know. How do we switch 80 columns? Can somebody tell me how that happened? How does that work? Like CoCos, I know just enough about them to turn them on and make the screen go green. So if anybody wants to tell me what I type at this prompt right here to make 80 columns, we'll do it. We'll do it right now.
I'm laughing because I have an 80 column card for my Franklin. I bought one off eBay, and I put it in and typed PR #3 to activate it, and
that's not gonna work.
Well, it worked, but my scaler hated it. Yeah, the image was too jumpy. So I was like, well, maybe this thing's defective. So I plugged it into a little 9-inch TV, activate it, and I'm like, I can't read a single thing on the screen because the characters it was so blurry. Yeah. Obviously, you need a better display than I had for 80 column mode. Although I sure thought my scaler should have liked it, but maybe the 80 column card is playing loosey-goosey with the NTSC timings. Or there's something wrong with the card one. I guess that's what I get for wanting the...
Is perfect.
I guess that's what I get for wanting the actual Franklin card.
Yeah. 80 column text. There you go.
Oh, wow. That's way more readable than my 80 column experience was.
Zoom out just a little bit. I really wish. I'm going to see if I can rearrange this stuff a little bit just so I can have it not in my way.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I still don't have a capture card or anything yet, so I kind of have to. I deal with how I deal with it.
Although, speaking of,
I am going to get into the SDC. Make a clear case on your 3D printer. That will take 1 billion years. No, I have already downloaded Nitros 9, which you can get off of the internets. Just search for Nitros 9, you'll find it. You can download a zip that you can download different zips for different levels and different versions. I downloaded the zip that has all the disk images, but inside the disk images, they have a specific disk image for the CoCo SDC, which is what I'm using here, which is what I have to use, because although I have a floppy set up for my CoCos, it's the very first revision of the floppy controller, which is pure ass and does not function at all. So until I get an actual floppy controller, there you go. Where can you find a CoCo SD device? Google.com. I don't know off the top of my head. But I have both of the different versions of Nitros installed. Here's the I accidentally named it 6909, but this is the 6809 version. So we'll go ahead and load that. And there is Nitros 9 level 2 on the CoCo3. And we can do like a dir, and it shows me the stuff, and that's great. But we have the 6309. Now, I should have tried this before switching the CPU out so you could see what it looks like. With the if you try to load the 6309 version with the 6809, it crashes spectacularly. It just destroys the screen. It's great. But let's go ahead and just reset that, because I don't remember how to get back into SDCX without doing it, again, because I'm not a CoCo person. So we're going to try the 6309 version and see what happens. It's either going to work or it's going to die. Hey, look, it works. There we go. There's the 6309 version of Nitros. Yes. The Zipster Zone. Yes. CoCo SDC. Yes. Show. That's where you get the CoCo SDC. Thank you, Justin, for dropping on there. I appreciate that. You're a channel member too? I didn't know that.
Yeah. I joined 3 months ago, apparently.
You're a channel member and a Patreon patron. Thank you very much for your support. If you all want to support my channel, go to patreon.com/Joe's Computer Museum. Cool. So let's actually go to this website. Let's copy that. zipsterzone.com. Yes. And then I'm going to click a button and go do screen cap right. Yay, cool. So you can see what's on my screen of doodles. And let's look at all the projects we got, hardware projects. Let's go to buy. There's where you can get the CoCo SDC, which I have, which allows you to load, I guess you would call them hard disk images of a sort. Floppy disk images, and also cartridge images. So you can flash cartridge images to the onboard flash here, and have cartridge games. He says $85 is a bit much for a device you don't see using that much. Yeah, agreed. I mean that's the same for just about any off the shelf toy. But it makes sense. Get out of here. I have gnats. They're bothering me. Anyway, 3D printed case, all of that stuff. Look at it. It's pretty. What are the other things they say we should get? Video adapters. The CoCo2 composite video and sound. I have one of these. I may have done a video on it. I think, yeah, I did I did a 3-part video series on my CoCo2 like 10 years ago, 15 years ago, 100,000 years ago. I don't remember, of one of these, of one of these adapters. So that's cool. Here's a CoCo3 RGB2 NTSC. This would also be a good variant for the CoCo3, similar to the device I have, except it allows you to just plug it directly into any old TV. So that's cool. CoCo Mech keyboards. Yes, this was a big project recently. He's all sold out, but you could buy brand new mechanical keyboards for your CoCo. $125 a pop. And if anybody knows anything about mechanical keyboards, you know why they cost $125 a pop, because mechanical keyboard switches are expensive as balls. They just are. MISC. ECB module, CoCo FPGA analog board, yada, 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 yada. So what was the other thing folks were trying to tell me that I should get?
Let's see, the Mega Mini.
Mega
I'm
Mini.
scrolling back up.
Mega Mini. Ah, yes, the Mega Mini MPI. Here it is. Basically, it's the multi-pack interface, but it's miniaturized version of it. So it allows you to plug in multiple cartridges, but it's a tiny little guy. So
and the Gymex, I think, was another one.
Yep.
And the Cloud9 upgrade kit.
Where do we get the Cloud9 upgrade kit?
I popped a link. You'll have to email Cloud9.
Cloud9. Cloud9.
Like Cloud9 Tech. Cloud9tech.com. And that's the number 9, not the word 9.
Cloud9tech.com. Let's look at this product. If it'll load. Not secure. Come on, guys. You can do better than that.
They can do better than that, but
Mini flash DOS adapter.
So
and then what was the product that they had?
Products. Go to products. I think the second. I can't read your screen.
Hey,
hardware.
Oh, there it is.
And it's the triad.
Gotcha.
But I think who was I think? Curtis said they don't advertise the 2 megabyte version, but ask for it. It'd be the Triad Plus.
Cool. I'm going to send myself an email about that. How do I do that? I don't want my screen like public. You don't want to read my email. Here, we'll just do it this way. I'm just going to go back to there. Cool.
There we go.
That. Compose to me email and ask about Triad 2 megabyte card. Sweet.
And Jeremy would like to share some links.
Jeremy would like to share some links. If you had mod, no. Rudy's Retro Intel. Install the thingamaboob. Jeremy, we're going to click this. We're going to do add mod. Post a link-a-doodle if you want to post a link-a-doodle. Do it. What are you drinking?
It's tea.
Oh, okay. So that's cool. Look for the Gyme X.
I mean, I could say I was drinking pumpkin spice, but
no. Pumpkin spice is evil.
Well, why do you think I? Oh, you didn't see my channel surprise video where this is the jar that I punched off the table, but to hide the brand. I couldn't think of what to put over it to hide the brand because they're not a sponsor. And then I realized, googly eyes!
Googly eyes! Every time Joe puts on his googly eye glasses, you have to take a drink. Even better. I love those. Because you can see through them, can't you?
These are, oh yeah, I could see through these. At least the white part of them. Now where the actual little doodly doodads are, no, you can't see through them. But these are like the most hilarious googly eye glasses. And I will share actually, if I send Joe the link, then he can make an affiliate link of the product.
Yeah.
So I'm going to send Joe the regular Amazon link, and then Joe can put the affiliate link in the description if you would like a set of the funny glasses for yourself, because they are hilarious.
And all affiliate links, it doesn't cost you a dime more, but a little bit. And then I can use that to get things for the museum, like static bags.
All right.
See, Rudy keeps saying thingamaboob, right? Like I have some like weird way to like make that happen. You know, if I were to thingamaboob.
All right, it's in the private chat for you, Joe.
Copy link, paste link.
I recommend the 3-pack because
Oh my God, those are so extra.
oh, you got to go look at the photos down in the description too.
So
If you've got a way to screen share, it might be worth the laughs of these. Or you got to go look at the photos of them. That's almost worth the price of admission.
here, we'll do this.
Yeah. No, the photos that have people in them, because they're like some of the weirdest, they're like some of the weirdest photoshops. And I find it hilarious.
Head. Look, his head is huge. Do you see that? They made his head really big.
Scroll down to the description. I think there were some more funny photos, at least at one point in the description. Oh, there we go. I like the two ladies that are and the dog. Yeah. Yeah, these are like hilarious photoshops. But well, what can you say? It worked. I bought a pair for for one of my videos, and well.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Hey, this lady here. She's like, I can't have anything to do with that.
I think they should have picked a different stock photo because it's not the
I
only
mean,
one where they picked a photo
on there.
Yeah, they picked a photo where someone was wearing glasses. There's another one, I think, too. And they didn't Photoshop their glasses on top of the other glasses wearer. But yeah, the for office one I think is also funny. Yeah, I'm gonna walk into my manager's office wearing these. Actually, I might. My manager's cool. Anyways, yeah.
Oh, that's great. Yes. So go get yourself some glasses and help.
You can just you can buy a single pair for $5.99, but you can buy 3 pairs for $8.99.
Yeah. Oh, geez.
Yes. This has been Amazon Shopping by Justin. Tune in next time where I'll share with Joe where you can buy one of these rubber duckies to have for no reason on your desk.
Rubber ducky. Very interesting thing. We buy little tiny versions of those for marketing for my business. We send them in little tiny 3-inch by 3-inch boxes with a URL in it. It's like, are you curious why I mailed you a duck? Go to the URL, and it's a customized URL, and they go there, and we can tell who's going there, and then we can anyway. So the Gime X, where does one get one of those? Because I'm on Ed Snyder's website, and it's talking about it, but it doesn't say anything about how to get one. It might not be fully complete yet, because I know it's been an ongoing project. Maybe Curtis knows. Zipsters will sell the Gime X once the chip shortage is not a problem. Yeah. Because they have to use an Atma or an Altera FPGA. Yeah. Yep. I get it. I'm looking at how they designed it too. It's just some amazing engineering they went in to design this thing. Here, I'll share my screen. I didn't want to click Power Director. I wanted to click OBS. So now I've got to go here and I got to close Power Director. Okay, now we go. So yeah, here's all the thing on the Zipster Zone website. This here in particular is fascinating. How they used a 3D printed slug and these right angle doobly-doos to make a socket that fits inside the FPGA plug on the CoCo3.
Wow.
That is amazing. just some surface mount soldering and stuff, and it just sticks in there. That is awesome.
That's amazing. Because I know back in the day there were companies that made things like that, so you could plug upgrade boards in, but
Yeah,
those haven't been available in the market for eons.
cool.
That is really cool.
I also looked in the past to get the boomerang board for the CoCo3, but I didn't end up getting it. So that's kind of what you get out of the Gymex. Nice videos. Nice graphics. Pretty. Look at all the pretty colors. I'm going through the same pictures over and over again.
Well, they're just that
everybody
nice.
said Snyder.
Yeah.
So yeah, absolutely awesome. Cool beans. Joe likes. Wish I could get one. And I had even before the stream, I had looked to see if I had actually ordered the boomerang, because I swear I had ordered it, but I don't have a receipt for it. Like, I thought I had ordered it like 4 years ago, and then, like all good things, it went on the shelf, disappeared. But that didn't happen. So. 512 color palette, enhanced graphics modes, poor man's DMA, and 3 megahertz speed. Yeah! The company with the boomerang board is no longer in business. Oh no!
Yeah, that reminds me. I'm still trying to figure out what I did.
Sorry,
I've got a cable tester somewhere. I keep trying to remember where I put it in the house.
Yes. Interesting. So what else does anybody want to see tonight? What do we want to do? Let's do something else. Can we do something CoCo related? What's a good game I can get for the CoCo that uses the 6309 that I can put on the SDCX? Throw it in the comments. Let me know. Curtis Boyle, did you get any of this? I just asked that question. You're behind. Chat is behind. Xenion, Xenion. So let's look for that. Xenion CoCo game. Click CoCopedia. Here it is. Great. Didn't I have a bunch of Model 4s or something that you were working on? Yes. Yes, I do. We could do that too. Where do download? Xenion CoCo game download? Don't copy that floppy. Hey, I'm not copying a floppy. It's a disk image. If I can find it. On Curtis Boyle's website. Does Joe still have more than one Model 4? I have 2 Model 4s left. One is mine, and one goes to a wonderful person that needs to get it. Jeremy's Vintage Hillbilly Shack. Do you own a CoCo2? I do. As a matter of fact, my first Tandy-related video on my channel was tricking out a CoCo2, cleaning it up, doing all the things. Yes. So we need to go here and go here, and here's the page. And is there a download it here? Cool.
That game looks nice.
Cool. So let's do the thing. So let's go. I need to shut down La CoCo. I need to put the thing in the socket. We're going to grab this, and we want Xenion 63, I believe is what we want.
I would concur.
We do copy, and we go here, and we do paste, and we put that on there. And then we eject to doodle that. And then we go back to here, not that one, that one. And ignore the graphics. That's just the scaler getting confused because it doesn't have any input.
Curtis says you can get both and compare the speed difference.
Ooh. SDCX. Great. And so, great. I don't know how to use disk images on the SDC. Let's make that straight. And a little bit higher so you can get the top of the screen. That's locked up and not doing jack squat. Do it. Do it. Sorry about all that. So there's a process you have to do the thing. It's going to be xenian63.disk. There's an exact command, drive letter name. Got it. Okay, so basically we do that. We go drive 0, XENI, however it's spelled. Xenion, XENION, 63.dsk, quote. dir0, yep, xenion.bas. Run, see, load. How do you do it?
Oh no!
I would figure you would load basic.
Run Xenion. Curtis just put it in quote. Xenion's in quotes.
Why do you need quotes for a file name? An RGB monitor. Sure. Insert data disk and hit enter. Enter. Does it have to be loaded in another drive image? Nope. There it is. I have no audio. I need to plug in the audio. You can't hear it. I need my audio doodle. I have my audio doodle plug. Stand by. I am fetching the audio doodle plug. The plug that is how the heck wrapped around that like that? How is this a thing? How is this a thing? How are you a thing? How? Okay. Ah! Dropping things on the floor on the. Stop it! Stop. Hi everybody. I'm Joe. I'm crazy because I'm yelling at inanimate objects on the wall.
You'll need a joystick for this game.
I'll need a joystick. The sound I'm getting out of that is atrocious. I don't know if it's supposed to sound that way or not. Oh, that's just bus noise. So I need a joystick. Stand by while I fetch one. Where are my joysticks? They are in my TRS-80 box, my Model 1 box. All the way over here that you can't see. I am across the basement, grabbing this box right here. Because this box has joysticks in it. I think it's this box. I could be wrong. I've been known to be wrong before. Nope, not in that box. Haha, I failed. Hi, everybody. My name's Joe, and I failed. Try it again. Not that box. It must be in the CoCo3 box. Ooh, go up there. Heavy son of a gun. Is it also compatible with the Atari 2600 joystick format? I don't know if it is or not. I don't think it is. I think they're analog. There's that box, and it's not in this one, I don't think. No, that's just documentation. It's in this box with the actual CoCo3. Ooh, you heavy son of a gun. Ha-ha! Look! Joysticks! One of these is bound to work. So many crazy joysticks. That ain't gonna work. Okay. Can you close? Great. Now you get to go back. Where do you go? Go down here. Go here. There we go. Sorry about that little detour, folks. Cool. Now I can see the screen. So joystick port on back is, I presume I want to be the left joystick. I have no idea if this joystick works, but it's properly branded. See? So it should match this computer perfectly. It's even got the red button on it and everything. Red button, yum. Okay. Woo-hoo. So left joystick. Well, maybe it needs to be right joystick. Yep, right joystick. One player. Ooh, sounds. Player one, go. So this is the 6309 version, which you can see is pretty speedy. I have to press the button to make it go. I keep forgetting that. I am absolutely awful at video games. Boom! Great. We'll give it one last try.
Yep, the green bar is your health, says Curtis.
What do I blow up to get around that? That, okay. Game over, player one. Cool. So, now, I'm going to put the other image on there, the standard 6809, the original version, and we're just going to see how bad it is compared to it. So I need to go, I need to click this button and copy this to here like that, and eject, give, go. No more swapping floppies. And then we escape, and then we do drive 0, xeniocn.dsk. Oops. Run xenion. Run quote Because why? Yes, I'm using an RGB data disk. Yeah, I presume we're already in there. So let's see. Let's see how... Oh, you can't see it. Please be patient. But I don't want to be patient. I want it now. Give. Laycom Products presents. You can already tell how much slower that is.
Oh, wow. That is...
You guys can't see the whole screen either. Let's like do that. There we go. Oh, yeah. It's like half the speed. Which actually makes it, in a way, easier to play. I mean, for me anyway, because I'm like the worst video gamer ever. I thought earlier in my YouTube career, I thought about doing a video game channel, then realized how bad I would be at doing it, and decided against it. And said, I'm going to do computers instead, because I know pooters. See, I ran right into the bullets. Like, I have this kind of like screen blindness. I can't see everything. Yeah. Die, die, die. The game runs a little bit faster if you're not constantly shooting bullets. Because it doesn't have to draw as many things to the screen. Basically.
It's kind of like Space Invaders. The reason why Space Invaders plays the way it does is because I guess the more aliens that are on the screen, the more that the processor has to redraw.
Yep.
So it gets faster as you keep shooting the aliens because the processor has fewer and fewer aliens to draw, which is why it gets faster near the end of the level.
Mm-hmm. This isn't Kaboom. Don't catch the falling objects. Yep. And this was just minimally patched. I changed 2 small routines out of the full game. Rescue on Fractalus, I did a lot more patching, but you need to wait for your RAM upgrade. Yes, yes, yes. Yes. So basically, we have Curtis Boyle in the chat, who is like the guy who knows about all these things. So, hi, Curtis. I wish I had known. I would have invited you on the stream, given you StreamYard link and everything, and you could yell at me about how bad I video gamed. Is there a Hubert for the CoCo? Good question. Curtis has a lot of games on this website, so we're going to click that. We're going to get Q, and there's Q Man, which is just Qbert, basically. Yep.
Curtis says there's a half dozen CoCo 1 and 2 games that are 6309 optimized as well.
Sweet. Rescue on Fractalus. Yes. Yes, Rescue on Fractalus was a big game at the time. Let's find a game that is popular amongst all systems. And I know which one I'm looking for. I'm not going to tell you what it is. And they don't have it.
Oh, no.
I don't believe it. I don't believe it. No, I was looking for Commando. Any other cool games like that? Defender. Tetris. Tetris is boring. Everybody loves Tetris. Tetris is the most boring game on earth. So I'm going to download it. Oh, he doesn't have it on his site, so I can't get it there.
Is there not some like Star Trek type game out there? Of course, there's
Star
probably
Trek
like
3.
several.
Yes. Yep. He doesn't have it for download. Frozen Bubble. Not even on this list. Rush and Assault. Rush and Assault includes download and manual. Yay! So let's do it. Click. Cool. Parsec. Hey, Eric's Edge. How are you doing? You were streaming. Eric was streaming some Apple II shenanigans earlier. So I need to click this. Russian Assault. We do copy.
Oh, here we go. Curtis says Space Wreck is the arcade Star Trek simulator clone.
Space Wreck. But you don't have a download for it on your website, sir.
Oh no.
Super Tux Racer. Really? Although that is a cool game. Once you get your 512, you can try all the arcade transcodes. You would swear you were running MAME. Yes, I want my 512. Give me my 512. Gib now. Gib make occur happen exist now. So we're
please, if you've got a transporter out there, just transport that 512K upgrade right on Joe's bench right now.
If anybody wants to donate anything to my channel, they can do that. I usually don't do that. I'm not the kind who's like, give me free things. I have enough subscribers and enough Blue Scuzzy sales and stuff that I can just go get the things I want. So it's no big deal. So what is this disc name? I have to where are you?
John says he can fax one to you. Joe wins.
This file name I think is too large for the CoCo SDC to see. Let me just call it Rush. Rush.disk. Download the RAM. No, that's not how that works. Although a lot of applications on the internet would like you to think that's how it works.
Well, a lot of those fake solid state drives would like you to think that's how it works too. Like the one that I think Ars Technica and a couple other companies picked up a couple weeks ago.
Why is this not showing up?
Uber huge terabytes solid state drive for $30 on Walmart's website.
So drive 0, rush.disk.
Which, if anyone's wondering, it wasn't a multi-terabyte drive. It had like two 32 gigabyte SD cards in it that basically, as you wrote more data, it purged the old data.
I think I have to run mrush. Load mrush. Yeah. Practice game? No. Push reset if screen is blue. Hit enter if screen is red. No idea if... Oh, because it's not in RGB mode, so I have no idea. So we're just going to hit enter. Do you have 2-button joystick? No. Press enter to start game. 1 or 2 players. 1.
You want to show us what you're playing?
Oh, you can't see it.
We see your great Radio Shack shirt. There we go.
It's a graphical mess. It's not doing anything. It doesn't like my machine. I'll bet you this will work better in composite mode. probably actually be able to see color in composite mode. Input, AV. Kinda. And you can see the colors here. Like it's drawing the screen, but very slowly. I don't know. It's supposed to hold F1 and hit reset. Do you have 2-button joysticks? No. Press enter to start game. 1 or 2 players, 1. That's all that happens. I don't think the crack properly handled the reset vector.
Yeah, I would agree. I don't think it did.
SDCX. There, now it's in color. Practice game? No. Enter if the screen is red. Enter. No 2-button. Enter. 1 player. There we go.
Oh, that looks
It's
much
not
better.
I may also, again, because it's not standard, it may be in the wrong joystick port. There we go. We'll go left. Why not? Up, left, left, up. Do. Why can't I fire straight up? Go up through the hole. There you go. Go through the hole, you dummy. Like, do it. How get through? Can I not get through because these are in my way? Yay. So apparently you hold down the fire button to fire the...
Or spacebar to fire the grenade, Curtis says.
Yeah. Gee. Bullets. I'm out of bullets. I am the worst video gamer ever. It also doesn't help that the joystick, this analog joystick, is pure ass. Fire. Fire. Fire the button. What kind of... Point that way. Jiminy Christmas. Go. No. I walked right... Game. Yeah, because I walked right into a freaking grenade. Because I'm doing the thing. What the was that noise?
I don't think Joe likes this game.
I don't like most games. It's easier on a 2-button joystick. Yeah.
Okay, maybe we should suggest some productivity apps.
No.
63.
No. Does the CoCo3 have available for any, what you might call in modern terminology, sandbox games? Because I like sandbox games. They're the only games that I like, to be honest. I like SimCity. I like Minecraft in creative mode. Like, yeah, multi-plan. What the hell is... Eric, what is wrong with you? No, we're not doing that. Xenix. Many things. Yes. Xenix and crystalcity.zip. I like the looks of Xenix. Let's download this one.
It would appear as if the Petsky Robots is not available for Tandy. David Murray has it available for Commodore, like all the Commodores apparently. Sega Genesis, Sinclair ZX Spectrum, Sony PSP even, Apple II, Atari, but not the CoCo. Shame.
How do I load this?
Eric says, look and see if there's a Wordle clone.
Oh yeah, there probably is. There's a Wordle clone on freaking everything. It's like it's the new Tetris. Cool.
Oh.
We checked. I'm about to sneeze. I apologize in advance. Excuse me.
Bless you. Curtis says there are several Wordle clones, and I think Curtis is also saying that their Petsky is started, so I guess maybe someday there'll be a CoCo version. If I'm reading that right.
I like the way the pictures of this picture looked.
And Curtis also says he's got to run, but send him an email and he can give you some suggestions for a future stream. Yeah.
Bye,
see you later, Curtis.
Thank you very much for your help tonight. You have been super, super awesome. Stop by anytime. Ooh, that looks neat.
Yes.
You can't see it.
Yeah.
That looks cool. I like that. I wonder, does it look better on RGB? Let's find out. Pretty. You can actually see pixels on RGB.
Oh, wow. Ooh, that is pretty.
Is that live music? Ooh, I like this game. Ah.
Hey, that's a cool soundtrack. I can't place the symphony, but
cool. This is good. This is a good game. I like this. I'm making it like through the game. I'm not dying too quickly. It has a soundtrack. It has sound effects. Cool.
Yeah, this one's nice. That one almost makes me want to find a CoCo. Joe doesn't need a rapid fire joystick. Joe is rapid fire.
Apparently, I'm like at a I can just run into things and not blow up. So okay.
Yes, Jeremy, all the cool vintage retro computers are going up in price.
What? I didn't hear you.
Oh, I was mentioning that this game makes me want a CoCo, and Jeremy was warning me they've been going up in price lately. Yes. Best to aim for a CoCo3. Yeah, if I'm going to get one, I'd probably go all the way up for a CoCo3. Better that than some of the TRS-80 Model 3s I've seen. In fact, there was one I saw on Facebook Marketplace that's just downright sad. For what they want for it, there was one thing I noticed about it that I don't think the seller has, but it has a SADS. I'll have to find a link to it. Yeah, it's a Model 3 on Facebook Marketplace. They want like $300 for it, I think.
No.
Untested?
No. Immediately no.
Oh, I think the CRT has lost its vacuum because I looked at the picture and there's dark spots that look like
You
they're on
see
the
the dark
inside of the
spot?
CRT.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me...
$25, free shipping, parts only. Mm-hmm. Because it's going to cost me $300 to find a 12-inch tube that will fit in the damn thing.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, let's see. I mean, there's someone selling two down in North Carolina for like $100 for both. That would be tempting. But this one here, let me see. I think that's it. Oh yeah, in fact, I think this one's actually close to you, Joe.
Oh, boy. That's just what I need. Another project.
All right, but
not
yeah,
like I don't have enough.
But here we go. I'll it's quicker for me to just private chat that to you. All right, so Joe, if you want to take a look at this TRS, yeah, you can tell me if you concur that CRT is toast.
Here, we'll share with everybody. We're gonna do this and then do this, and we're just gonna look at it. That zoom doesn't work.
Yeah, take a look at that.
Yep, that's been necked.
That has been necked.
It's right here. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of dust and all that, but it's this pattern right there.
Yep. It's been necked. That one's toast.
Pretty violently too. Means it was just snapped right off, and the air just went boom, and it jetted right on the front and blew all the phosphor off.
Yep.
Yep. That's exactly what that means.
Yeah, so that one's like
you send them a counter offer of $25, free shipping. And there you go. That's the end of that.
Yeah, I saw that one and I was like, wow, this is sad.
Yeah.
That one's sad.
Yeah, not good. Shall we get out the TRS-80 4P and play with that a little bit, since it's TRS-80, it's CoCo time, or it's Tandy time. Tandy time! Oh God, I've turned into Steve. I'm singing. So let's switch to that so you can see me cleaning up the bench. This is my brain GBS. That's my Gonbez with GBS control. And this is the...
Well, Jeremy, I would agree with you that if it had a bad tube, then maybe trying to LCD swap it might not be a bad idea to rescue it, but not for $300.
Yeah, it's just not. It's not worth that much. It's just not.
$300 maybe if it's in good, clean condition and a working CRT, but that one's
if it was pristine, $150, maybe.
Maybe, yeah.
Like, no, it's just no. I don't want to call it speculation per se, but there's just so much people think it's worth more than it is, because it's old, and I've never seen one before. I'm on Facebook Marketplace for $150 because I found it in my great grandfather's garage, and I'm 19 years old.
Yeah.
No, that's not how it works. That's not how any of this works. You're never going to sell it. Have a nice day. Comments anyway.
Unfortunately, they'll probably end up selling it to someone that. Yeah, good night, Jeremy. Unfortunately, they'll probably end up selling it to someone that doesn't realize that CRT's been necked.
Yep. Mm-hmm. And that person's going to be grumpy, and I guarantee you, in a week, I'm going to see that person on the TRS-80 Model 1, Model 3 group on Facebook complaining about it.
Yeah.
Donuts.
It would not surprise me at all. Would not surprise me. I'll see it too. I'm part of that group as well. Oh. Okay. Jeremy's still hanging around.
Yeah, Francois was the one who was leaving.
Yeah.
Let's play with this thing.
Ooh.
I have the nastiest looking of all of the units, but mine's the one that worked. I am selling / giving away, depending on the person and different things, the Model 4s to people who want to fix them. Backstory about these, I previously did a live stream on these guys, but the backstory is I have a client here locally to me, runs an electronics company. They do custom PCBs and control systems, and this is their 50th year this year. Anyway, so they had some of these old machines that they used for, basically they just use them as like overpowered terminal controllers and overpowered like chip programmers. That's all they were really used for. And so they had several of these, and they were just laying in the back. And one day I was there. I was there on a weekend, and I just happened to see this out of the corner of my eye under a shelf. I'm like, "Fling! What is that?" And he's like, "Well, it's this." And I'm like, okay, so you need to talk to the company president, and you need to ask him how much he wants, and I'll buy all of them." And I go there to buy them, right? I go there the next weekend to buy them after we agreed upon a price, and I'm getting under this shelf. They had a big shelving unit like this one beside me here, lots of them, just full of equipment. But they had these under the shelf, and I'm getting under there and grabbing these out, and I just happened to turn to my left, and I saw two more. I'm like, add those to my order. I'll take those. So I ended up with like 5 or 6 of them. I don't remember the total number. But yeah, they all came home with me, and there we are. The Model 4P is one of the coolest models to have because it supports both Model 1 and Model 3 software, I think, with the right, like you put it in the correct mode, I guess.
Yeah, Model 3 for sure.
Yeah. So anyway, so I'm just going to plug it in. We're just going to send it.
Yes. And I guess for anyone that saw like my last live stream, you saw a Model 4P, and yes, it came from Joe. Thank you, Joe.
Wait for the screen to light up. It's trying to load. Floppy disk drive is not ready. So I have the floppies over here. Stand by.
Guess even yesterday I got something cool for my Model 4P. A replacement badge for the one that was missing.
Yes.
There is, I forget who sells those, but it's...
I'm going to get you all up close, folks, so you can see what that is doing. And because my software is kind of awesome, it actually syncs to the screen really well. Diskettenlaufwerk nicht bereit. This is TRS DOS 1.3. I believe it goes in that way. I believe I have to hit reset to get it to load. Loading ROM image. Please wait. Of course, like anything that was not an Apple II of this time period, the floppy interface in this is slow as balls. It's super, super slow. You just tell. Enter Dave.
Hey, Dave.
Dave's here. 12.99. Sure. Enter time. Sure. 12. Where's the freaking colon? 12. Sure. Directory. There's stuff on here. I don't know what any of it is. It's just like data. Free granules. You can see the screen doing this because the caps need to be replaced and all that stuff.
Yep. Console 5 has a cap kit. It'll fix that. I think I found a website that was had a symptom chart, and some people think you have to replace the power supply to fix that, but usually just a recap does it.
Profile 3 plus menu. I have no idea what any of this is on this thing. Hi, Dave. Are you streaming on Sunday? Is $82 too much for a CoCo one with a joystick? That's it's maybe a little high. I think that's in a fairly good range. Depends on, like, does it have other stuff with it? Is it just the CoCo one with just the joystick? Like, what is it? What's its, what cosmetic state is it in? Like, I don't know what this is. I just typed CM. Like, I did DIR, and there's all these commands. The CMD, Model A.
If you don't want to, like, if you want to just privately share a link with Joe or I to let us see the physical condition, you can, like, just drop us a private message, and we won't reveal your CoCo one.
Okay, I have no idea what any of this means. It's define. Runtime menu, sure, M. Sure, why not? And it just reloads this menu. Oh no, it's a new menu. Inquire, update, add, select records, expand files, build. Like, M creation menu, sure.
Yeah, Jeremy just dropped me a link, which I'm going to not share because I wouldn't want him to miss out on it. It is like the CoCo one with the joystick, but it looks like it's in pretty good physical shape.
Yeah, if it's in good condition, $88 isn't bad.
And it has a couple cables with it. So
oh yeah.
So at least you'd be able to use it when you get it.
Yes.
It might just have 16K of RAM, but it could have an upgrade in it.
Yeah, that's easy upgrade.
Yeah, it looks like it's in good shape. It probably is worth.
No idea what is on any of these discs.
Yeah, it's probably worth it, Jeremy. It looks like it's in good shape.
Blank or bad. Blank or bad. I got all these discs from this. Here's a disc called Data 90.
Oh, Dana just posted a picture of a keyboard to
system disk. Okay.
Twitter, and it looks awful.
What? Where? What?
Oh no, Dana posted a picture to Twitter of a keyboard, not one of the famous photoshopped ones, but I think it's a picture of what was found under the keycaps on an actual keyboard. That is disgusting. Oh.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. Hey, everybody.
Oh.
Look at how awful that is.
Unfortunately, that was so bad, no photoshopping was needed. Oh.
That's just like keyboard seasoning. Anybody want Dash? I found where they get the Mrs. Dash from. They get it from
There's only one thing they could have done to make that worse. Pumpkin spice everything.
No.
By the way, Joe, I can't stand pumpkin spice everything. That's why it was in my video the way I did it. Because I was making fun of it, because the only thing I really like pumpkin spice in is Grandma's pumpkin pie.
Yes.
And maybe a really good beverage, but it'd have to be really good. But really, Grandma's pumpkin pie. That's it. So so if you see this in another video, I'm probably making fun of pumpkin spice everything. And yeah, googly eyes on all the things to hide the brand labels.
Googly eyes.
I was going to also put another gag in my last video, but I spent good money on this, so I don't want to waste it, because maybe I might make a pumpkin pie sometime. Probably not. But I also realized these spice jars are actually stronger than they look, because I was actually tempted to add a gag at the end of the video where, as if I had broken the jar when I pushed it off the table.
Mm-hmm.
But I actually tried breaking one of these jars by dropping it on the floor down in the basement, because I thought because I didn't want to drop it on carpet. And I dropped, it was a different spice jar, one that wasn't near as expensive. It didn't phase it at all. I'm sure if I dropped it enough, I could bring it. I gave up. I was like, this is too much work for the gag. Not worth it. Sorry.
Yeah, throw it really hard.
Throw it really hard.
Find concrete.
Yeah.
Add force.
Add force, yes. I mean, the gag might make an appearance in a later video where I actually break it, but not that jar. This was the cheapest pumpkin spice jar I could find, and it was $5.
You could have just gotten a jar of cinnamon, called it pumpkin spice, and been like done with it.
Actually, believe it or not, I could not find a small jar of cinnamon when I went to go buy this thing, and I didn't want to go in multiple grocery stores, so I just said, fine, I'll buy the pumpkin spice jar, and I bought it. Because actually, I had thought of buying cinnamon, but the only thing Food Lion had when I went in that was cinnamon was like the big container of cinnamon, and it was like $16. I'm like, nope, no. I'll just buy the pumpkin spice for $5. Thank you.
So that's all I have is the software for this is the software that came with it, which is some sort of database something or other. What am I running on the Model 4P? Profile 3 Plus, whatever the hell that is. I don't know what it is. Do you know what it is? Google.com. Google.com.
Yeah, looks like productivity software to me, Joe.
Profile 3. Shut up. Profile 3 plus TRS-80. Google. Profile 3 plus. Great. It's on archive.org. Okay. It's a database application, basically.
Yes.
Word processing, something like that.
Now, if you want an upgrade for your Model 4P, Joe.
Yes.
I actually will put the link to this in the YouTube chat. There is a high-res board available.
Ooh. By me and Maverick, of course. Yes.
It is a modern reproduction of the original graphics board.
The Mavster himself.
And it is $99 US.
I can't get to the website.
What?
my Pi-hole anti-malware system is preventing me from getting there.
Oh no! I don't think his site is malware.
The whole domain is. They just block the whole domain. So what we do is I go into my adapter settings.
Oh.
I go here, and I change this to 8888, and it'll solve it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, his website is okay. There's probably some other site on that domain that is possibly sketchy, but yeah, his site's fine. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it is a cute little board. It plugs right into the graphics. There's a pin header for the graphics board. You hook the clip onto one of the pins on a chip, and you change, I think, like 3 jumper settings.
Sweet.
And you get high resolution graphics.
Cool.
And it is a modern clone of the original graphics board, which would have been sold back in the day, but it fixes some of the bugs with that board, so you won't get the snowy graphics like the original graphics board did.
Ooh.
Yeah.
And so you can get cool graphics like these.
Yeah, look at those graphics. Sweet. Those graphics on those screenshots is what sold me. So I have one for my 4P.
Ooh.
I just need to. I figured out that what I need to do to run some of these, like that, I want graphics Trek. I got to try that because it's a Star Trek type game. Do be careful, Joe, that one of the discs you can download further down on the list is a probably something you may not want to show on screen.
Ooh.
Because
now I have to see it.
Yeah, because let's just say thingamaboob.
Scrolling. I want to see this.
I thought I should warn you before you.
Yeah, I see it. Mm-hmm.
Okay, I thought I should warn you first.
Yep, I found it.
Yeah, I didn't realize it was there earlier until I was scrolling the list of games, and I'm like, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, yeah, I need to be careful about that.
Neat.
So
lots of cool software.
Yeah, I know there's some really cool software, but so there you go. If you want to one of my recommendations for upgrades, other than I think if you don't have the 128K of RAM, do that too. I believe there's someone that sells the upgrade for those machines.
So how does one buy one of these objects?
I bought it on eBay.
So you just go to eBay and look for it.
I went to eBay, and in fact, if you give me a moment, I think I might be able to even copy a link to... I might be able to just copy a link to the listing.
Improved graphics, new, from Australia.
Here we go.
For 4P.
Actually, why would... Okay, I can't stand eBay's...
That would be...
There we go.
Wrong button, you stupid computer. Hi, everybody.
Yeah, there you go. Unfortunately, it looks like he's out. Oh, I know why he's out till October 3rd. He is at Tandy Assembly, or I think he's going to be at Tandy Assembly.
So he'll be an hour and a half away from me.
Yes, and in fact, actually, let me see here. Well, this isn't quite the link I would have probably normally posted, but yes, there's a link to the Tandy Assembly page I had open.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, look at that. Yeah, I linked to the sponsors page for some random reason, which if you go there, you might realize.
It's September 30th, so next weekend.
Yeah, no, next weekend.
Hell, if he's going to be there, I might just go.
Yeah. In fact, if you go to Tandy Assembly, I might just have to send you a few of my cards to hand out while you're there.
Got Brendan Donahue is going to be there, who did CoCo VGA. Yes, I have Brendan Donahue's CoCo VGA in my CoCo2. Jay Neuwirth, I know that name. I don't know those folks. I don't know Eric. Ian Mav, of course, who is, yep, Mav. He very graciously sent me the power supply board for the TRS-80 Model 1, which goes into the expansion interface. If you happen to have an expansion interface but don't have the second power supply, you can replace the power supply for both with that. Tim Halloran, I've seen him around. Paul. Jeff Burt. Good old Jeff Burt.
Yeah, Jeremy says you got to go, Joe, and take a couple videos while you're there.
Yes. Look at all these exhibitors. Look at them. Jim Brain's going to be there. Hey, Jim.
And yeah, I believe that Ian was going to have some product with him.
I didn't know Jeff was originally from Ohio. He's in the Ozarks now. Yep.
Yeah, they're gonna have some big names in the Tandy world there.
Do it. I don't know. I'm very reticent to go to any large group gatherings right now because of my how can I say, my work requirements and not being able to not take off time. You know what I mean? If I get sick, like, it's a bad thing. And also I don't want to get sick. I just don't want to. So,
well, just go there, stand outside, ask people where Ian's table is, and then you make a beeline right straight to his table, buy the card, and run right back out.
yes.
Or maybe not. That might be too much. Maybe you just order it and
don't want to see that background stuff. Close that. Close that.
Actually, you know, if you emailed him, maybe he could just put one in the mail for you while he's here in the States.
Yeah.
Save you some postage.
Where does Thomas's link go? Let's see where Thomas's link goes. The system expander. Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, Thomas told me about that project, and it looks really, really cool. It just would like consume probably my retro computing budget for the rest of the year. And I have other things I'd like to do. I mean, for its functionality, it probably is worth the admission price. But I think it's like $300 or something like that. But I mean, given all of the features in it, it's very nice.
Oh yeah.
Okay, yeah, it's a fully assembled $300, but I don't think you can get it as a kit. And it probably is worth that, given the functionality and the fact it's completely assembled and tested and comes with all the goodies. And it just unfortunately would take away from my retro computing budget for the rest of the year. So yeah. I'll just have to plan for that next year. Because I
review. Just ask for a sample. What if Ian stopped by Joe's house? Yes.
Hey, there we go.
That's neat. So, Thomas, is this one of your products? Is that why you're saying that? That why you're commenting on that? What if Ian dropped by Joe's house? Just ask for a sample. You know, I might drop Ian an email, because if he's got one, if he has one of these, he may be able to just save me the shipping cost on it.
Maybe he'd be willing to like meet you outside or something.
Yeah. Well, I also don't want to. I don't feel like driving.
Oh, that's right.
Like the best way to describe it without like putting too much detail is I'm about 1/3 of the way between 1/3 of the way north from Columbus, between Columbus and Cleveland. Tandy Assembly is effectively in Dayton. So that's like across half the state.
Oh,
now,
you're right.
Ohio's not as big as Texas, so it's not like super far. But still, it's half a day to get just the thing. Joe Justin, Twitter link sent to you guys for Sunday stream. Thank you, Dave.
Yes, Dave. Thank you. I have some Apple stuff to work on Sunday, Dave.
Ohio.
Went on Dave's Vintage Apple Tech. Work on Apple stuff if you have it.
It's in Springfield.
Yes.
You look at maps.
And I have family in Ohio, Joe, so I do have some semblance of where things are, and I have been to Cincinnati.
I'm in this vicinity in here, up in this area.
Okay, correction. I was not in Cincinnati. I was in Erlanger.
Kentucky. Kentucky.
Which is like
Erlanger.
Cincinnati, Erlanger.
Yeah, my sister used to live in Erlanger. She lived in Erlanger for a while. It's like right here. It's like right there.
Yeah, the Cincinnati
right there.
Cincinnati airport is actually in Erlanger, Kentucky.
Yeah. Where did she live? She lived like.
Yep, there's CVG right there.
Bright Leaf. She was like on Turkey Foot Middle School. Yeah, she was right in this area here. Yeah, because she lived off Turkey Foot Lane. Turkey Foot Lane in Erlanger, Kentucky. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, let me tell you, I mean, I'm from West Virginia. I guess I got family in West Virginia.
You're from West Virginia.
I know. But when I actually took this trip to Kentucky, wow, that was different.
Uh-huh.
That was different.
I'm gonna do that. You're big now.
I'm big.
Whatever, I don't know.
Yeah. Did I do that?
Did I do that?
Yes.
That link's open, so I can close that browser window. Yes. I'm going to close this because I wanted to go back to here because I wanted to show, here's the manual for Profile 3 Plus. And it does, it's database for a sample company. Yeah. Killing the Salesman database. Cool. It's a database application basically. Ooh, can be used with Model 3. You know, if you would like, do it. Model 3 VisiCalc for extended mathematical operations. Yes. And see, because it's TRS-80 Model 3, it's basically Model 3 software, but it runs on the Model 4 because the Model 4 is Model 3 compatible, basically. It was all confusing, especially when the Model 2 came out and everybody's like, I'm going to upgrade to the Model 2 for my Model 1. Why the hell does none of my software work? You lied to me, Radio Shack.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's boring. Yeah, we're not going to be dealing with that software again.
Yeah.
Ever. What's the point?
Although, speaking of not boring things, I will have to take my TRS-80 back to work sometime.
Ooh, do it.
We were celebrating Engineers Week this week.
Yeah.
Now, granted, Engineers Week is actually officially in February, but due to reasons, kind of what we were doing at the time and COVID and all that other stuff, we kind of bumped it out. So we finally celebrated Engineers Week this past week. Mm-hmm. We were going to have a group come in that we donate to, a local group, come in and give us a demonstration. But they had to back out at the last minute. So I know. So I'd been kind of looking for an excuse to bring some retro computers into work. And I know the person who had been organizing this I could tell he had done a lot of work. And I was like, okay, I think I'm going to volunteer here because I'd like to bring my retro computers in. So I did a talk on repairing vintage computers. Mm-hmm. And I brought in I brought in 4 computers that I had actually repaired to kind of show off and talk through like what you'd want to look for and kind of how to go about it. I wasn't actually repairing it, but it was like a talk on repairing them. So I brought my Franklin Ace 1000 because that was a good one for here's like an older computer. It's lots of, of course, Apple II Forever, even though it's a unauthorized clone.
Apple II Forever.
But I did it because it's a computer that's old enough that it's pretty much mostly standard logic chips. So it's like one of the easier computers to repair. I think I know Franklin had a couple gals on it. I think there's like 1 or 2 gals on it. But for the most part, it's like standard logic chips. And the 6502 you can still get easy to repair. So that was the other reason I picked it. I'd repaired it, and it's an easy to repair one. The second one, though, of course, was the TRS-80 Model 4P. I mean, it's still older. It's a little newer, so it's got a couple more custom chips on it, but still pretty easy to repair. Yep. And I'd recap the power supply.
I have a relationship with this computer.
I know. Yes. And then my LC and my LC2. Mm-hmm. Now, unfortunately, I only have one ADB keyboard and mouse set, so I only had the LC running. But the LC2, I popped the cover off and kind of it's to demonstrate to show off the repair. because I had repaired it, but I opened it up so people could actually see inside of it and see the repair. But the LC, I had Blue Scuzzy in it. I don't remember which Blue Scuzzy purchase it was, but I knew the geek factor would be strong with my coworkers. So I made sure to have the After Dark Star Trek The Next Generation screensaver installed on it. And I had the oh, come on, the screens. What are they called, the screens? The
LCARs.
LCARs, yes, thank you. I had the LCARs screensaver running. And actually, someone who was at the talk the next day sent me an email and asked me, where do I get that screensaver? And of course, I pointed them to the Macintosh Garden.
The Garden!
The Garden!
Except no substitutes.
Yes.
And any other websites that are crap. Only the Macintosh Garden.
And I also got a message.
Garden on Patreon. Do you? You should. Go do it.
I also got a message from someone else who wasn't able to attend because they had a conflict. And they were bummed because they had it and used a TRS-80 earlier. So they were really bummed they missed it because they liked the TRS-80. I know. So I made sure to tell them that the TRS-80 will be back. I will find an excuse to bring it back. But yes, I thought you'd like that. That the TRS-80, I think, was the most recognized of the three. Probably because Radio Shack advertised everywhere on TV. And you had Radio Shacks in like every mall.
I put this shirt on special today. I was wearing it as just my regular shirt yesterday. And I went out to get some ice cream. And as I was coming, just because every once in a while I'll go out and just treat myself. And as I was coming out to get back to the car, a guy about my age was getting out of the car with his kids, and he saw my shirt. He stopped and waited. Stopped and waited until I approached him, and then he's like, "I like your shirt." And then he took his kids in to get ice cream. I'm like, thanks. So,
yes.
Processing data. So I have a question for everybody. I'm going to throw this out there to any TRS-80 heads who are out there. I have the original version of the floppy controller for the CoCo. Is it possible to fix that to make it work? Like to put a different chip in it or anything like that? Discuss. I'm going to go fetch it. You're not discussing. I can't hear you. Talk louder. Yell really loud.
Yeah. Yell so loud that your neighbors are asking, what's a CoCo?
Yeah. I can go in there, sure.
Or until your neighbors come over with the box of cereal and like, well, if you're out of Cocoa Puffs that badly, here you go. Have a nice evening.
I'm CoCo for Caca Puffs. Oh, wait. What's this thing? I don't know what this thing is. It's a card.
Actually, Thomas is saying to go to Ian's.
Ian has a fix for it. Good.
Yeah, let's see.
You replace a couple of the capacitors, just to recap it, and then you replace the 1751 with the 1791 or something, and it just fixes it. I was researching it when I was doing the CoCo3, but that was before I got good. Before I get good, I got good at electronics and stuff, so I didn't know what the hell I was doing. That was before I even had the bench here or anything. 26. I think the part number is 26-3022. Mini disk system. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I was looking at Ian's website. He's got a CPU upgrade. He also sells it with a RAM upgrade, and he apparently has a badge you can put on your CoCo3. It says 512K Color Computer 3. Actually looks really nice.
Scrolling. Keep it going, scrolling. Find disk controller. CoCo 1 and 2 disk controller. That's great. In the future, CoCo3 support will be added, but I want it to work for my CoCo3. Ah, here it is.
Ah, Joe found it. Good.
Yep, here it is.
Actually, Thomas I think just posted a link too.
Right there. Yep. For people with the broken or unreliable disk controller. Yep. Good. You can get the kit. Sweet. REFD 502. Copy. eBay. Paste. And boom. And of course, I could just get the kit because I know how to put it together. Sweet.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Hey, you could get the kit and then you can do a stream putting it together.
Ooh,
that'd be fun.
Yeah. Okay. Add to cart. Add to cart.
Yay! Look at all these upgrades Joe's going to have.
Add to cart. I'll check out later. Directly from Ian. Yes.
Oh, yeah, yeah. That might be a good way to get it from Ian. Hi, Ian. I'd like this, and I heard you're going to be in Ohio, so maybe you can just stick it in a priority mailbox when you get over to the States and drop it in one of those blue boxes at the post office.
I love his eBay username, Dr. Ian's Junk, but it's JUNQUE.
That is awesome. That is it. That's
I am curious if I've emailed him before.
You know, I would actually be surprised if you had not, because apparently he's big in the Tandy world.
Oh yeah, I have an email to him. I have an email where I sent him a PayPal payment for something, but I have his email address. Does he have like a contact page?
Actually, I think he just has his email address at the top of all of his web pages.
Ooh, I got a subscriber while I was streaming. Yay!
Yay!
Ian M at trs80.com. Great. So Ian is going to get an email composed to subject. These products on your website. These products in my eBay cart. Yes. So we're going to compose this email. Everybody, listen, I'm going to, everybody watch me as I write email live on stream on the internet, because that's a thing that's interesting. And it's 8 a.m. tomorrow there. Yes. So my email will get to him. So we're going to click this and we're going to be like TRS 80 items while you are at it. Well, hey, Ian. That's because Joe knows things. Dave knows that I know things.
Well, I know that you know things.
So you want to hear a joke? So, or technically it's a joke, it's a story with a humorous climax. So I told everybody at work that Dave started saying that Joe knows things because I randomly said that once because I happened to know a lot about the one subject once and it became a thing, kind of like thingamaboob, or that I'm like some sort of secret furry. These are things now. People have said that these are what I am now. Anyway, so I told everybody at work that people on the internet say Joe knows things, and they all roll their eyes at me because of all of the things I screw up and they have to fix all the time. Now, granted, I have to fix their screw ups too. It's a two-way street, but it's wondering if while you are in Ohio for Tandy Assembly, you you might be able to ship me some a couple of TRS 80 and CoCo upgrades. Maybe save a bit on the shipping. I'm in Ohio, so I might even be able to grab them outside Handy Assembly while you're there. Can't attend health requirements. Let me know what you think. Thanks, Joe Schneider. Joe's Computer Museum. Yep.
Don't forget to tell him which products you want.
Well, I want to make sure that it.
Oh yeah,
he's okay with the concept before I just start throwing stuff at him. It's
true. Yeah,
it's planning now, I'm sure. So if you could just bring kit parts and be like, just bring me the parts, I can put it together. I'm sure he's seen my videos. Yeah, I know he has, because I put together my own version of his power supply for my Model 1 on my Model 1 video, and then he reached out to me after that. So he knows who I am, quote unquote. I think. I don't know. I don't want to overinflate my importance. I'm really not. I'm just some idiot on the internet who streams things. So,
Joe, who's this? Yeah.
Cool. Let me know what you think. Click send. Boop. Mail sent. Sweet.
Yay.
Cool. Awesome. Sawsome.
Yeah. Hopefully you get some cool upgrades for your TRS 80.
And if I'm lucky, I will get them on the 30th and could stream that evening for the last day of September.
Yes.
No promises. That probably won't happen, but whatever. Yeah. Yep. Why do I have 18 notifications on Twitter?
I keep thinking that my Discord's blowing up for some reason, but no, guess not.
Gotcha. Okay. I responded to Sean Geek with Social Skills on something, and then everybody else was like, well, why don't you do this? And why don't you do that? I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm just... Everybody, wait while I doom scroll through my Twitter.
Yeah, scrolling through Twitter can be an adventure sometimes.
Anyway.
How does the internet feel today? You can tell by scrolling Twitter.
Aw, thank you, Jeremy's Vintage Hillbilly Shack. Thank you. I am an idiot, though. I'm pretty dense. How can I put it? Dave likes to say I know things. There are many things I do know. However, I would call my knowledge broad but shallow. I am the computer equivalent of a handyman. I can do a whole bunch of like, I know, and I've waded far enough into the waters to know where the ocean goes, but I don't know what's in the ocean. So I can figure out a lot of things. Because I've been around the block, so to speak. But that said, I have screwed up some things really bad over the years. Although I have never accidentally screwed up an entire SQL cluster before. I've not done that yet. One of my coworkers did that. He wasn't my coworker when he did it. It was just before he started working. I started working there. Or was it? I'm trying to remember. This was a long time. This was like 2 decades ago. Long time ago. But basically, worked for an ISP. The company I work for is like 2 steps removed from that now, but it's still the original corporate entity. It's weird, complex history. Anyway, it was an ISP. We had a database system. that held all of the user accounts. The database fell over. There were no backups. The cluster failed. That was it. We lost our entire, literally 100% of the user database for an ISP with 50,000 users on it. Figure that one out. Our solution was to wait for people to call in and complain. And when they did, we just created a new account for them and re-signed everybody back up. That was the solution. I have never made a mistake that bad. 10 out of 10 would back up again. Anyway, luckily I no longer work for that corporation. Its parent corporation still exists, and they're still crap. I don't work there anymore. I work for a spin-off corporation who is awesome. Anyway, moving on. I'm not sour. Not me.
Yeah. Funny story, Thomas. Your comment, you hate Fujitsu TTL 74 series. So I've got a Franklin 80 column card. I thought it had a problem because the image was jittery when I plugged it into my scaler. So I started popping the 74 logic chips off of it one by one to put in my my TL86 tester.
Yeah.
One of them actually did fail, and it was a Fujitsu chip.
If you're going to get a chip reader or chip programmer, this is the one I would suggest. I've been through so many of these things. I've got more up there. This has been the best. If you know how to plug it in, it has the ability to program like PIC microcontrollers and AVR chips. You can do all your standard stuff. It also does logic testing, but beyond just the logic testing, it allows you to create your own chip maps for chips it doesn't have in its own database. So if you have a PAL chip, for example, and you know what the logic is supposed to be for that PAL chip, just as an example, you can program the gates into the application that comes with this and test the PAL gates to see if it works or not. Yep. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep. So me likey. Yes. Sorry. I'm sorry to take over to steal your thunder there, Justin. But
spoiler alert: replacing that chip didn't fix the jittery video problem. So
no.
Apparently, my scaler doesn't like the 80 column output, but I plugged it into a TV and the image was stable.
Oh yeah, TVs they don't care.
They don't care. Unfortunately, I plugged it into the TV and I could read nothing because the TV was too small and the text 80 column text is so small. I'm like, well, that looks like Franklin Ace output, but I sure can't read a thing on the screen.
I'll bet you. If I were to guess what's happening, here's how I'm thinking. So I don't want to say I'll bet, but it's a turn of phrase. I'll bet what's happening is the sync pulses are getting shortened because everything else on the video chain gets cut in half and it alternates between the two. It alternates between the two. What do you want to call it? Memory banks, and it outputs the video at twice the frequency.
Oh.
That's basically how 80 column works. It shows bank 0 at twice the frequency, then bank 1 at twice the frequency, then 0 at twice the frequency. So it's interlacing two 40 column pages together. That's how it works. That's also why it doesn't show up on the TV, because it's 14 megahertz video, and the TV can only show 7 megahertz video. So that's why it's all blurry. It's straying into the domain of it looks like color burst frequency, and the comb filters and stuff filter it out, and the TV doesn't actually have you can call it pixel resolution, but it doesn't have the resolution to show dots that fine. Anyway, whatever. So if I had to guess, what's happening is the sync pulse is getting are you getting horizontal or is it rolling?
It was
or just every once in a while just going like that.
I think it was going like like that.
Yeah. I'll bet what it is for some reason the horizontal sync pulse is shortened. It's a more generic way to speed up the circuitry, and they're probably accidentally speeding up or cutting in half the horizontal pulse.
Yes.
Line pulse.
TV,
and
TV
so
no care.
It might even be the vertical sync as well, the frame sync. But one or the other is probably getting shortened. And
TV no care, composite monitor no care, digital scaler care.
Yeah, because the digital scaler is probably it's been programmed or state machine programmed to wait for a pulse of an exact amount or an exact minimum, which is to the spec. Whereas an analog television, once it gets that pulse, once it hits, if it's a newer TV, it's just gonna fly the beam back to the other side. Just go. It works because
it's like
you can make the JCM1 when I was playing around with the video stuff. You can make those sync pulses really short and it'll still work as long as the video line comes back in at the right time. And that's my guess. That's just
yes. I will put an oscilloscope on the output before I do anything drastic, because I can compare 40 column output and 80 column output and see what the length of the pulses are. So before I do anything drastic, like order a new video controller chip for it, because the video controller chip does run really warm, but I know video controller chips usually run really warm. So it probably is fine. I will check the pulse length before I.
So the Franklin has an integrated single chip that generates all the video. Is that what you're saying?
So this is the 80 column. This is Franklin's 80 column card.
Oh, okay.
That I'm having the problem with. The 40 column output is still comes from the logic board. The way I think it works is there's a cable on the 80 column card from Franklin that plugs into two plugs on the logic board. If you're in 40 column mode, I believe it's taking the video signal from the logic board and just passing it into the composite out, because you plug your monitor into the 80 column card. Gotcha. When you do the switch to 80 column mode, then it's using an onboard CRT controller chip. I forget which one, but there's actually a CRT controller chip on Franklin's card.
It's like the 6845 CRTC or something like that.
It's that one. Yep, it's that one.
So yeah, it's the VidX style 80 column card is basically what it is.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I will check sync pulses in 80 column mode before I do anything drastic, like replace that chip or try to replace the crystal, because it's probably the sync pulse is probably half as long as it should be.
And if it is, that just might be how it is.
If it is, then I'll just know that I won't be doing video captures with that scaler in 80 column mode.
You get yourself a Droid cam that has really good synchronization to video, and just point it at the screen.
Yes.
If anybody's curious what I'm using, and this is the coolest thing. Zodium showed me this. So thanks to Zodium. So we'll go to this. This is it. This is just one of my extra smartphones. Every time, I don't want to say extra like, hey, I've got 1,000 smartphones because I'm awesome. No, every time I get a new phone, every like 4 years, the old phone becomes a utility tool. Like this one right here. This thing is extra camera. So anyway, this is called Touch Portal. You install an app on your computer and you do some wibbly doos to have it talk to OBS, and then I can just touch these buttons and it switches my inputs. So I don't have to actually go to OBS, click a button, and then do that. And then go back to like that. I can just go boop.
Thomas, I think Thomas is suggesting I recap the video card, which I may look into. It does have a couple of axial electrolytics, which looked okay.
They probably don't have anything to do with it.
So
all those, yeah. See, the electrolytics in that particular case have nothing to do with any of the timing at all. Those are probably just like the -5 and -12 volt decoupling capacitors.
I think there were 3. So probably 5, -5, and 12 or something like that.
Yeah. I mean, you can recap. Why am I still on this? You can recap them if you want, but I don't think that's going to solve anything. I mean, it'll make you feel better.
I think first I'll just check with an oscilloscope the sync pulse length, because if it's half as long as it should be, then problem, well, I guess not a problem.
Identified.
Yes, a problem, not a problem.
Glitch identified.
Glitch identified, yes. It just be, I can't plug it into the scaler.
One of the things you can do, this is a trick that I've done on my Rigol scope. Joe's Tech Talk with Justin.
Hey.
I set up one channel to show what I'm actually what I'm actually measuring. So channel 1. I set channel 2 to be my trigger channel, and I'll put that on like either I will go onto the motherboard and find where horizontal sync or vertical sync is being generated, and I'll have it trigger on that. So it'll keep it that perfect like 60 hertz length or 57 kilohertz length or whatever. So then I can use the measure tool on my scope to measure the exact length of the line to make sure the timing is exactly correct. You can also do that and zoom way in and then use the measure tool, but the cursors between the 2 points to check the length of the sync pulse and all of that stuff. So I don't know. I'm telling you, Joe knows things.
Yes. Of course, also another thing I will be hopefully doing soon. I want to figure out how I can tap a video signal off the Model 4P so that I can directly capture video.
You're going to have problems with that because the Model 4P is like a 22 kilohertz output.
Ooh.
It's not 15. It's not 31. It's weird. How can I put it? Like, a composite monitor will kind of sort of sync to it. So if you're doing a repair, but I think I may have showed this on my previous stream about the 4P. If you're doing a repair, and the screen doesn't work, you can get kind of a pseudo kind of composite out of it and shove it at a composite monitor, and an analog composite monitor will, for the most part, lock up to it. But it's more than the 525 lines. There's more lines, so it scrolls off the end of the video.
Wondering if I can. Wondering if there's a digital signal I can tap off of for like a RGB to HDMI.
Maybe, I'm not sure. Stand by. Where's this part? So, yeah.
Or maybe I'll just point a camera at the screen.
So, you know, when I was doing my diagnostics, I had to make a little stupid thing like this. Here, I'll make myself a little bit bigger. So I had to make an adapter like this that it fetches 5 volts off of a pin, and then this is where it gets the video signals from. I fetch the video signals out, and then is that an inverter? Stand by. We're gonna look at scope cam. Nope, it's an 86. That is an XOR gate. So what this does is the monitor generates separate horizontal and vertical sync. So you've got to combine them to get them shot out to the monitor. So that's what this does. It takes those in and combines it out. So you'd have to make a little adapter doodle like this. And then, of course, I've got the composite video out. And it kind of works. It sort of works.
So, I bet, though, it won't work if I try to jam it into a capture card, because it's not going to be...
I don't know. I mean, hell, like, I don't know.
Yeah.
It might. It's not going to break the capture card. It wouldn't. I mean, you got to make one of these anyway if you're going to be doing any monitor work.
True.
So you might as well just make one. it's not that hard. If you want instructions, I can kind of sort of like take this thing apart and figure out how I did it.
That'd be cool. I could give it a try. I
Try
guess
to-
the worst case, the capture card's just not going to be able to lock onto it and you won't get anything.
Yeah, it's got a couple resistors for I don't know what reason. Yeah, so it's basically got, if you look at the wires here, the brown one is the actual the Luma, is the actual video. The black one's ground, and the red and orange are horizontal. Ha ha!
Horizontal
And vertical sync, and the syncs just they go in. They go in and they get combined and they come out the other side. So, which is underneath here, and that's just my notes to tell me what goes where.
Yeah.
So that I can tap off the voltages and stuff. So ask me
Notes.
later. I can get you some kind of sort of schematic to wire one up.
Okay.
Just yeah. Yeah. It's hard to do on the Model 3 as well. Yeah, because it's a funky format. Funkyformat.com.
Tandy's like, we're selling it with the monitor built in. Standards, who needs that? No one's going to use it with an external monitor. Just 22 kilohertz if you need to.
Jeremy's Vintage Hillbilly Shack just asked a really interesting question. I wish that I could find a DB9 port that would solder to a perf board. Well, you know what? I understand. Yeah, the reason is because the perf boards they're a square grid, and the DB9 has that offset grid.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And so they make through holes, but you're supposed to design it with a PCB that has the footprint that matches it.
I think I have seen DB9 to pin header adapters that usually do have the pin headers on the correct spacing. You could maybe use one of those. But I don't know that you can find a DB9 that would directly solder because of that offset pin spacing.
We're going to look on Mouser. We're going to see what Mouser has to say. DB9, wire and cable electromechanical connectors. We're going to click connectors, and then we're going to click in stock. And then we're going to do apply. And then we're going to do desub connectors. And we're going to go to going to do this. And that is an utterly useless list. So we're going to just go all the way back up to the substandard connectors and go to 9 position. Through hole. Apply. And then low to high, because we don't want the most expensive one. And I'm just going to look at the pictures and see if I can find one that has the right connector types. Looking. I'm not Weird Eye, I promise. DB9 for perf board. Aha, here we go. If I can get their website to open. I've ordered from these folks before. They're a little weird. Here we go.
Ah, yes.
Winford Engineering. So basically, they made this little adapter doodle that just takes the standard. They basically made the PCB for you. It takes the adapter doodle and just gives you pins. And they're a little expensive. They're $7. But if you're doing it for just, one-time things, a one-time little adapter for doing testing and stuff like that is perfect. Yep. Mm-hmm. They like to drop all the types of weird literature in their boxes. Like sometimes it's like religious literature, and other times it's like Dianetics literature, and other times it's like weird cult. It's weird. I don't know why they do that. It's just a mix of wackiness that ends up in your box, and you don't know what you're going to get. And sometimes you don't get anything. So it's kind of a crapshoot. But yeah, I bought from them before. They have lots of just cool, different types of adapter doodles. So are they in Florida? Good question. Let's find out.
Maybe
Auburn, Michigan.
Maybe the literature you received depends on whoever packed the box.
Yeah, it could be. Could be. I don't know. Yep. Yep. They have all types of these breadboard adapters. Yep. Mm-hmm. Which, that's half the adapter needed to connect a PC Junior monitor to your Apple II GS to CGA adapter. Ooh. Yes. Cool.
Mm.
Neat. Awesome sauce. No, you can't see. There we are. We're back.
Yeah.
Still 13 people watching. Me and you.
Wow.
Random things. They probably Michigan. They probably get paid to put it in the box. Yeah, Eric would know. He's from up there. you Michigan people are weird. Go Ohio State. Sorry, I had to get that in there. No, you know the Ohio State Michigan thing. No, I don't care. Although I will say the first Ohio State Michigan game that was ever played was played in Ohio in the Horseshoe, in the Ohio Stadium. I think it's literally just called Ohio Stadium. And Michigan won. And ever since then, we have had blue and yellow flowers painted under the main entrance to the stadium as a tribute to their first win over Ohio State. And then after that, we have been kicking their butt for years and years and years ever since. Ohio State is better. Go anyway.
Speaking of blue.
Blue SCSI with adapter doodle.
Yeah, this is the adapter you printed for me.
Oh, I was going to say, where did you get that adapter doodle?
I know. You printed it for me.
Ooh, nifty.
I don't know where I got the blue SCSI from, but that's actually... I realized this adapter only works with the 1.0C. Luckily, I had... Yeah, the older version. Luckily, I had a couple of the older versions. Mm-hmm. So
nothing wrong with the older versions. If anybody has the older version, they can still be updated to the newest firmware and have all of the features. The only thing we changed was the design of the board a little bit to make it a little bit more friendly to go into the machine. That's all. So
and the resistor nets go the same direction.
Yes. So you see, here's the thing: is that Steve put his resistor nets in the old way. Actually, I think he put them all on the bottom of the board instead of the top. Whatever. It's fine. That's fine. I still make that mistake. I make like 10 to 15 of those a week, and I still screw up at least one a week. So if any of you out there have bought my kits and have put them in backwards, don't worry about it. It happens.
So this is an adapter bracket doodle that will let me mount this in the Mac SE and be able to get to the SD card.
Mm-hmm.
How cool is that?
I like it.
I just need to get a SCSI cable that's not like stupidly long, because the SE that I have doesn't have a SCSI cable in it. And the only SCSI cable I have is like miles long, which is I'm not gonna be able to fit that in the case.
Oh, hold on. Hold your horse.
Oh no.
Hold your horse, Captain.
Oh, Joe's got the ability to make them. Joe even has the right tool to make them.
I'm going to disappear for a moment. Hold on.
And Joe probably has a spool of cable longer than the SCSI cable I found at the thrift shop that's like 14 miles long. Oh. Yeah, actually that is longer than the...
This is. I have literally no idea how much cable this is.
It's longer than the SCSI cable I bought at the thrift shop, but
that's the part number.
Well,
focus on what's in front of you, you dumb freaking camera. Do it.
so, Dave,
Do it.
I got this bracket from, I think someone posted it on Tinker Different.
Yes.
One moment,
More
please.
PC Junior monitors. I want to make use of them. Yeah.
As BigClav.com says, one moment, please.
One moment, please. Yes, the 2GS has a video system that's a bit unique. The 2GS's video system, it's a standard 15 kilohertz RGB video. You can, with a simple, like, literal wire adapter, no resistors, no nothing. You just wire one end to another. You can plug an Amiga 1084 monitor in a 2GS and it'll work. Or the other way around. You could plug a 2GS RGB monitor into an Amiga and it'll work. They're both just 15 kilohertz RGB monitors. It's basically VGA at 15 kilohertz instead of 31, if you want to think about it that way. That's all it is. And so if you use something like Super Zoom Cam, like this guy, the Gonbez 8220, you can convert that RGB into standard VGA. All it does is double scale it, and then it works. And then you can plug it into standard digit stuff. So with the right adapter, I could take Amiga video out of that, shove it into here, and plug it into VGA. It's the same format. I mean, it's not exactly the same, but analog monitors are like, okay, it just works. I have one of those. It does advertise some lies, though. Yes. You see, that's the thing. The GBS, yeah. The 8200 and the 8220, they say, we'll convert CGA to VGA for you, but they don't. They don't. They will not. They do not take a TTL video input correctly, from my understanding. So if you try to shove CGA into that, or like the Apple III video format or any of that in there, it won't convert it.
Interesting. I can't find the oh, there it is. I knew I found it on Tinker Different. There we go. I found the thread. I posted it in the chat. Now, it only works with the 1.0C Blue SCSI. But that's not to say that someone couldn't maybe update it for the 1.1. Basically, the problem is I think the board is a slightly different size, but more importantly, it has to do with where the
socket doodle is.
The screw.
I have something like that in this already. For the C.
There may be an updated bracket that someone else has made because I have seen photos.
I have one in that.
Oh, you do have one?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I don't know where I got it from.
Because I've seen photos of a nicer bracket that someone's designed, but I have not found the download for it. And it may fit it probably fits the newer Blue SCSI.
Mm-hmm. Jeremy's Vintage Hillbilly Shack is asking, is there such a thing that simply does a TTL to analog conversion? My adapter does that I sent you, Jeremy. It only does it for the Apple III video format, or what's also called the Apple digital RGB format. It's the same thing that was used by the Apple Color RGB card for the Apple II that worked with the M100 or M101 or whatever RGB video monitor that had the motors in it for the Apple II. Same video format. And that's basically what it does. Like, to explain how that works, it's a digital to analog converter. It's a DAC. It is an old school DAC. And what it does, I think it's designed a little bit overcomplicated. I used a reference design from Apple to make it, but it passes the video signals into an emitter follower amplification network, then through a series of resistors that, depending on what bit pattern goes into those resistors, it puts out an analog video signal at that same point in time of the right red, green, and blue voltage values, analog voltage values. So it converts that 5-volt voltage value. Say if it's red, like say you're putting out a red color. So your red reference pin will be 5 volts. The green and blue will be 0 volts. And it goes through that network, lowers the voltage, and then puts out a 1-volt red analog signal on the other side. A 0 green and a 0 blue is effectively what it does. I could, in theory, modify that design to convert CGA to analog directly. All it would require is changing how the inputs feed into the RGB outputs on the other side, what bit patterns, and then changing the resistor values so that their correct colors would come out the other side. So I could do that if I really, really wanted to. I've got enough freaking projects on my plate right now to worry about that. But if somebody wants to, who's hearing this right now, who really, really wants it, and wants to remind me once every 30 days to design it, I'll eventually get around to doing it, because I think it sounds like a cool project.
I did find a bracket for the newer Blue SCSI, but Potato-Fi sells it on Etsy.
Ah.
But it does fit the 1.1A, and it does look really nice.
Cool. I'm going to see if I can find the bracket that I'm using. It's going to be in this folder,
I've not ordered that bracket from Potato-Fi, but I hear good things about what Potato-Fi does. So
yes, Potato-Fi does great things. It's not that. It's not the name badge. It's none of those things. Okay. I'm literally like, here, I'll show you. I have a folder of 3D print stuff.
Wait, it might be this one. Is it the one that this did this blah, 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 blah. This does not compute, did?
This does not compute.
Does that ring a bell?
Collins.
Yeah, here's Collins. It's on Thingiverse. Does that look like it?
Waiting for it to show up on my screen so I can copy paste it. There it is. Copy link address, paste into there. No.
No? Ah. Well,
this one's more fancy than that. Stand by. 2 middle-aged men talk about 3D printed crap on the internet.
Film at 11.
Here it is. I found what it's called. It's called this. I have the file. I can show you what it looks like on my screen, because it's by Potato-Fi. Yeah, it's Potato-Fi's. And I know this because it's got a potato right here.
Oh, okay. So so the Etsy store sells the printed version.
Okay.
Of that, I believe.
I'm not sure how I got hold of this file or if I'm allowed to have it. Because he's part of the whole like Blue SCSI and Macintosh. We have our weird little group of nerds. We have a kind of a little small subgroup, and he may have just sent it to me.
I found it. I will apologize in advance for where it is.
You didn't know Windows had a built-in STL file viewer, did you? This is just in the Explorer window.
I did. Okay, I think I've got the link to it, and I apologize for those that are disappointed it's not on Tinker Different.
Oh, no.
I know.
Fail. absolutely. Does the link actually go anywhere?
Oh,
Sorry, I had to get the jab in. Yeah.
actually, yes, the link to the downloads actually does go somewhere. You can actually download it.
It's a
Yes,
miracle.
I am downloading it.
It looks really nice. And for my clear case here for the pumpkin tosh, I printed it in clear filament.
Here we go. Let me do it this way. It's actually on Press's 3D file sharing site. Let me just Prusa. Yeah. Let me just go ahead and share the printables link.
Yes, printables, printables.
Just save yourself the trouble of going to that other forum to then click on the link to go to printables.com. Just go straight to printables.com and get it.
Printable.
Yes. There we go. That's the fancy bracket.
Yep. Face.
Yes. And in fact, actually, now that I know there is a fancy bracket out there, I might be employing your 3D printing again to get one in.
Where can people get that 3D printing?
It's jcm1-com. For all your Blue Scuzzy and 8 bits are all you need related gear.
8 bits.
8 bits.
Cool.
Yes.
So, one little, I think I'm going to wrap up the stream. It's going on 3.5 hours, and I think it's a good time to end the Tandy stream since we stopped talking about Tandies an hour ago.
Yeah.
I think I did want to show real quick. I don't think I've shown this to anybody before. This thing right here, this is called GBS control. It is a web interface for the Gonbez 8220. For this box I have for this. For you, I can't get it on the screen for this thing. That thing. Basically, it allows you to set presets and stuff and control the Gonbez a lot better than the default settings for the Gonbez. It's a little like Raspberry Pi Pico or something that has Wi-Fi on it and all of that stuff. You throw some firmware at it, and you wire it to like 1 or 2 pins of the microcontroller on the Gonbez, and it takes control. It just owns it, and you can set the phasing and everything really well with this. It makes the output for the Apple IIgs, which you can see as my default setting right here, Apple IIgs right there. It makes it perfect. Whereas this default Gonbez video output for the Apple IIgs looks weird. So if you want a really good 15 to 31 kilohertz conversion system that is insanely cheap and is a cool little hack it yourself project, look for GBS control. That's it. That's it. That's my statement for the evening. Alrighty. We're gonna call it a night tonight. Thank you, Justin, very much for joining me on the stream tonight. Always cool to have one of my patrons and one of my backers and one of my very best internet friends that I hope to meet in person someday come by and hang out. If you haven't seen Justin's channel, Justin, yell at everybody and tell them where you can find you.
You can find me on YouTube at Justin D. Morgan.
Justin D. Morgan. And don't forget the D.
Yes.
Anyway, moving on. Yes, so Justin is a super awesome guy. He does streams about once every week or a couple weeks, depending on availability, where he takes apart some really old cool piece of kit and fixes it and puts it back together. And that is where you can find him. Again, my name is Joe Strohsnyder of Joe's Computer Museum. You can find me on YouTube where you're watching me right now. Why don't you already know that? You can go follow me in between on Museum at Museum Joe on the Twitters. You can support my wonderful channel and all of my cool shenanigans by becoming a patron over on patreon.com/Joe's Computer Museum, all one word, no punctuation. For as little as $1 a month, you get really cool things like access to our Discord thread where you can join me and Justin and Zodium and Dave and a whole bunch of other really cool people. Garth Beagle's on there, Mac84's on there, Ron's on there. You can all jump on there and talk to us about all types of whatever weird, wacky stuff that we're going on. I do behind the scenes stuff, and I even post links to the video, to the stage, the backstage of the video. So if you wanted to like be a patron member and just join us in the video stream, I sometimes will let you do that. So that's a cool perk. You can also get cool perks like mugs and t-shirts and stuff. So you can support me and my efforts there. You can also go to jcm-1.com. Hey, let's do that. You can go to that website right there. That is right in the middle of my face because I was playing with it on the last stream I was on. It kind of should go like over here. You can go to there and get cool things like blue scuzzies. You can get blue scuzzies. You can get my wonderful universal Apple II keyboard encoder that works for literally every Apple II in existence. The Apple II, the Apple II Plus, the Apple IIe, the Apple IIc, the Apple IIc Plus, the Apple III, and the Apple III Plus. One encoder fixes the keyboard encoder for all, plus a whole bunch of other cool stuff. I am done self-promoting for the evening. Again, I want to thank all of the awesome people who stopped by tonight to chat and hang out with us and do the thing. You are all super awesome, and you are the reason why I do this. If you weren't out there, I wouldn't have anybody to do this with. So thank you all for stopping by. Remember, smack that like button, press the button, get your googly eyes on, go to that earlier and buy some googly glasses.
Yeah.
Will help me out as well a little bit. And you get cool googly glasses. You can't go wrong. You cannot go wrong with the googly glasses. You got it. You got to googly it up.
Yeah.
Right? It's a thing you got to do. If you're not subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the channel. That helps out a lot. I'm almost at 5,000 subscribers. It's only been a decade, but I'm getting there. And again, thank you all for stopping by. And we will see yous all later.